They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together ooky, the Addams Family. Their house is a museum. When people come to see them, they really are a scream. The Addams Family.
Neat. Sweet. Petite.
So get a witch's shawl on, a broomstick you can crawl on. We're gonna pay a call on the Addams Family.
What's up, guys? Fears! Audience fears. Nice little Addams Family, in this Halloween-y, season. And you guys have probably noticed every single time I have not played the Thrilling 3 song, Fears' theme song that Randall allows me to. It's not my song, it's Randall's song. There's a reason for that. And the reason is I thought in the spooky season, I would play a different song that's appropriate, whether it's one of my favorite cartoons or one of my favorite shows or like the Addams Family, or like the Munsters or, something like that. Something that revolves around the holiday because 3 of my favorite holidays are coming up. We got Halloween, we got my birthday, we got Christmas. I do love Thanksgiving, but not as much as all the others. Anyway. So what's going on? Back at it again with another podcast. I got my Halloween-y shirt on, as always, Return of the Living Dead. And I'm going to try to wear as many of these shirts as I possibly can for each podcast. When I run out, I'm just going to start wearing my Christmas stuff, because I don't have any Thanksgiving shirts. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry, I have one, and it's from Disney. So I'll wear that one a couple of times throughout the Thanksgiving season. Today's thumbnail. I'm doing all fall season thumbnails. You eat a lot of turkey in the fall season, or at least my family does. So, anyway, coffee first. In my favorite mug. Oh, well, one of my favorite mugs. There it is. And today's healthy snack is organic dry fruit. There you are. Very healthy. You got, let's see, what do we got in here? We got strawberries. We've got apricots. We've got prunes. We've got blueberries and all sorts of delicious jams and jellies. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are doing awesome. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. I had a pretty good day. Work was good. Got off of work. I had some breakfast. I watched Skyfall. That's going to be one of the movies that we're going to be reviewing. Ate breakfast. I had some oatmeal and a fruit bar. So oatmeal and a fruit bar and some orange juice. Watched Skyfall. It's better than I remember. I haven't seen Skyfall, the James Bond film, in quite a long time. So I watched that, and then last night I finally finished Star Trek Season 7. So I'm all done. So anyway, today's topics, like I said, we're going to be reviewing Star Trek Season 7. I finally finished it last night. I only had like 3 or 4 episodes, and each episode is like 45 minutes. So I watched a bunch before I went on Lantern's podcast. So I thought, I'll just do that. Now, I do apologize. I did say I was going to get to Crybaby last night, and unfortunately I did not. So I'm going to try to get to Crybaby tonight. I am. It stars good old Johnny Depp, and he's done a lot of cool characters over the course of his career. So we're going to be reviewing Skyfall and Star Trek Voyager. Then we're going to do the top 10 episodes of Star Trek Voyager. You guys know I always do that. I didn't get to it yesterday. We're going to pick at least 10, if not more than 10, the biggest Disney villains. Now, I know not everybody likes all the Disney stuff, but it's my show. I like Disney. So if you don't like the Disney portions, then you guys can just tune out. But anyway, because I know it's not for everybody, but I have great memories with my family going to Disney. Ever since I was like 4 or 5. So I like it. Visions said it right. He said, "Fears, you like Disney, but not in a creepy way." Absolutely. I just like getting some cool footage and riding some rides and just kind of chilling out. And then the last topic is, I've done this one before, but I didn't finish it. I'm going to go to my Facebook and tell you guys some stories of the celebrities I met. I know exactly where we left off last time, so yeah. So those are the topics, and if there's anything else that you guys want to talk about, let me know in the chat. I do want to talk about something serious, but I want to make sure Lantern is awake, and I owe Lantern an apology. You guys all saw. I did not start this. Remember that. Remember when I said this. I did not start this. I came in, said hello to Lantern. I came in, said hello to Visions. We're having a cordial conversation. Who comes in? Larry. Guns blazing. Like he wanted to kill me or something. That guy is certifiably insane. Took over Lantern's show. Started screaming, hollering at me, going nuts. Unbelievable. The guy is mentally ill. And I always feel bad because it happens on Lantern's show. Then I got into it with him. He got into it with me. And he was talking out of his asshole. So, yeah. It was ridiculous. And I'll get into it more, but I want to call Lantern. Because I know he's not going to apologize for that. But I will apologize, because I don't like causing chaos on Lantern's channel. I really don't. So, I will be an absolute... Because Lantern is my friend. I do care about him. I think Lantern's a great guy. And I like Lantern's show. But I don't like Lantern causing chaos on the show. I'm sorry, not Lantern. I don't like people causing chaos on the show like Larry. Because it's Lantern's show. In the end, it's Lantern's show. And he can have whoever he wants on. But, Larry's just a troublemaker. And it all stems from me blocking him and him starting this. He can lie all he wants. But if he wouldn't have made those bullshit rumors up about me and those lies about me, none of this would have ever started. But anyway. So, let me call Lantern, see if he's up. Anyway. Yo!
Yeah, I was on the call with Larry.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And what did Larry say?
He said a bunch of bullshit about you.
Oh, what? He said some bullshit about me? Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Lantern, the guy is obsessed with me.
Yeah.
He's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So, Lantern, did you have a good nap? Did you have a good day?
Yeah, real long now. I slept all day today.
Nice. Well, hey, you must have been tired, buddy. You must have needed it. I didn't sleep all day, but I had a pretty good nap, though, buddy. How you been?
Good. How about you?
Pretty good, buddy. Pretty good. It was a solid day. I almost got a vlog done today. I'm putting the finishing touches on the next vlog. Hopefully, it'll be out tomorrow or Sunday after church.
Mm-hmm.
And the next vlog is when me, Dave, and James, and Tina was there. We all went to that Star Wars convention. Mm-hmm. So it's going to start with the Star Wars convention. Then Dave took James to Atomic Horror, and he invited me to go. So then then it's going to lead into Atomic Horror, and then I may end that vlog with the lake jump because everyone wants to see that footage.
Yeah.
But the start of it is going to be the Star Trek stuff. So right now I'm right in the middle of editing it. I'm at the Atomic Horror stuff. I've already edited all the Star Wars stuff. So yeah. So yeah, buddy. Listen, I'm not going to take much of your time. I appreciate you always, throwing the link out to everybody. But Lantern, I know Larry's not going to apologize for causing chaos on your show, but I want to apologize. So I apologize, Lantern, and I hope you're not mad at me.
I'm not.
I appreciate that, buddy. You're a good friend. Lantern,
Yes.
because I came in there, I said hello to you, and then I left.
Yeah.
And then, I was making some dinner. I went, oh, hey, shit, Visions is on there. Cool. I'm like, I'll go in and say hello. Lantern, I swear on my father's grave, I was going to go in. I was going to go in there. I was going to go in there just for 10 minutes and say hello to you and say hello to Visions. And then I was going to dip out, Yeah. And then Visions asked me, he goes, hey, what are your thoughts on the Jimmy, Kimmel stuff? And I gave my thoughts. And it was Larry's perfect opportunity. Because I didn't know, everything. The funny thing is, Larry doesn't know everything about that situation. Nobody does. Unless you're in that situation, you don't know all what's going on. All I watched, I was just going off of what I heard on TikTok and the news.
Yeah.
And they were saying that Trump did not like Jimmy Kimmel and that Steven guy, Colbert, what they said about Charlie, because apparently Charlie and Trump were good friends, and murder is wrong. It doesn't matter who it is. You know what I'm saying? Nobody should murder. Nobody should murder anyone. And all I was trying to say is, even me, Lantern. People are gonna sometimes. You too. Everybody. It doesn't matter if it's you, me, Charlie, Visions, whoever. Some people are going to like what you say, and some people are going to not like what you say. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I was telling Visions, I didn't even really know much about Charlie. I only saw maybe a handful of his debates on TikTok, and I just said, whether you believe in his views or not, he shouldn't have got killed over it. I mean, that's horrible. And then I was watching all the stuff, on TikTok about, Trump didn't like their comments, so I guess he has pull with ABC, and I guess he took down Jimmy Kimmel's show, which I actually like Jimmy Kimmel's show. I rarely watch that Steven guy's show. Did you ever watch those, Lantern? You never watched Jimmy Kimmel's show?
Yeah.
Oh, so you watched that one? Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Tonight Show, with Jimmy Fallon. Yeah. Jimmy Kimmel kind of did a similar show. So because I didn't know everything, he lashed out. He attacked me. Larry did, and it's true. Me, you, and Visions were having a very civil conversation. He comes in, guns blazing, and he started to attack me because he's upset that I block him. That's where it all stems from. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah. I just wanted to apologize to you, Lantern, because I felt horrible, Now watch, Lantern. I'm not even going to come on your show tonight because I don't want the whole conversation to be about me. But watch it. He'll come in there, he'll spend 4 hours on me, and he'll take over your show, Lantern. I bet every amount of money on it tonight. And I won't even be there. How insane is that? But you can't let him do that, Lantern. It's your it's your show. So just tell everybody, I'm going to sit here and edit, and I'll have my headphones on, and I'll be listening to the show, but I'm not going to come in because I'm a good friend, Lantern, because one, I don't want to argue with Larry anymore, So if I avoid him, then there's less arguments or no arguments. And I should have took Vision's advice. I didn't even really take a break from your show. A break means not going on there at all.
Yeah.
So I think for a while, buddy, I'm just going to chill in the chat until all this gets resolved, Yeah. Or at least for a little while, Like I'm not saying that I'll never come on your show ever again, but I just want everything to calm down because everything was chill, and he was leaving me alone, and then all of a sudden last night, whatever stick was up his butt, he came in guns blazing. And I was like, wow, I don't feel like getting attacked, So... Anyway, I just wanted to apologize, buddy. I'm sorry I'm sorry that it happened on your show. I really am. Okay. I really am. But hey, thanks a lot for being a good fan and a good friend and always sharing the link. And Lantern, besides Visions, you and Visions and a couple other people are my big supporters. And you're a good friend, buddy. And like I said, Lantern, if you and your family ever come down here, I will totally take you to Disney, buddy. That'll be a good time. So hell yeah. What's up, Twin? How you been, Twin? What's going on, Twin? Hey, Lantern. Damn.
What? Damn.
Pew.
Pew.
I just farted, Lantern, right now.
Damn. Woo.
That's a stinky one.
Yeah, bad. Woo.
Hey, Lantern. All right, buddy. I'll see you in the chat, all right?
Are you live?
Yeah, I'm live right now. That's why I called you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wanted everyone to hear this conversation, so I called you. And yeah, I forgot to tell you I'm live. Yeah, I am live. So if you could...
You didn't tell me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. I forgot to tell you. I am live, and everyone heard our conversation, but it wasn't anything, big.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like we were keeping secrets or whatever. Yeah, if you could just share the link, and I got a couple other things to address, and then I'm gonna open up the chat. All right.
All right.
All right. I'll see you later. Shunk. I love when Lantern goes shunk, and then like right as I hit the end button, it goes shunk. Oh, Lantern's great. Well, Lantern, thanks a lot for sharing the link. So anyway, I just want to clear all this before I open up the chat. Okay, so we've covered all the basics, right? So I come in, he goes nuts, and then because I don't want to ruin Lantern's show, I leave because you cannot win with Larry. He's going to talk over me. I'm going to talk over Larry because he's all pissed off because I haven't unblocked him. That's what it is. And again, I did not start this, and all I would require for it to stop is admit that he's wrong, admit that he started it, and just give me an apology, and I would unblock him. But he's probably not going to do that. So he's pissed off that I won't unblock him, and no one's going to force me, if whenever I want to unblock someone, I'll unblock someone if I ever want to unblock him. If he keeps harassing me, what's the logical thing? Yeah, I'm going to unblock someone that's harassing me. I'm not going to unblock someone that's harassing me, right? So I left, and then did you see what he did? He lied. He said that I caused Lantern's twin internet to get all fucked up. I don't have magical powers. I have no control on Lantern's twin's internet. I have control of my internet because it's my internet. But I don't have control over his. So that was a lie. He's like, oh, yeah, he ruined the first part of the show. That's a lie. I was only in there for maybe 5 minutes to say hello to Lantern, and then his twin was in there. Most of the first part I missed. I took a nap, and then when I woke up, there was some song. I think Lantern had like 5 or 6 songs left. And then I listened to the rest of it, and I was editing. And I thought, all right, well, hey, I'll come in and I'll say hello like midway through the show, which I did. And he left me alone then. But the minute Visions came in and the minute I voiced my opinion, I was not talking out of my ass like he said I was. He was talking out of his ass. He's like, oh, well, Fears, you don't know everything. You don't know all the sides. Guess what, motherfucker? You don't know. Nobody knows all the sides. Because we weren't there. We don't know the ins and outs. I only went off what I heard on the news and off of TikTok. Most people do that. I mean, look at Visions. He said he watched that that video of Charlie getting killed. I don't know how many times, but more than 10. I know he said. I watched the video. I didn't watch it that many times. I think I watched it about 4 times, and I was like, damn, that's horrible. That's horrible. I'm like, nobody deserves to die. Even though me and Larry are arguing right now, I don't wish death upon Larry. I wouldn't want anything bad because we have had good times. And I know Larry's watching this. Larry, we have good times. All I want you to do, I want an apology, and I want you to get off your stubborn old ass and admit that he started it. He started it. He said, hey, everything's calm right now. Oh, I love drama. I'm going to start some drama, and I'm going to say, hey, Fears. I'm going to say these rumors and these lies about Fears. And that's exactly how it started. And I'm not lying. That is verbatim what happened. Verbatim. Because I'm going to stick up for myself if someone, like, bull-faced lies. And I know I've dug myself a grave. It sucks. It absolutely sucks that when I was young, everyone was young and stupid. I didn't have much self-confidence. That's the truth. And I would just lie about everything. But now as an adult, I'm older, I'm wiser. I know it's going to take a while for people to believe me, and it sucks. The only way people will believe me now is if I have evidence to back up what I'm saying, and it sucks. It's going to take a long time for people to believe me without the evidence. I'd say there's only a handful of people in the community, like my loving and loyal fans, that actually beat me. Because I've read people in the, I've read, not people, I've read people's chat, and some people are like, Fears, we know it's hard being a YouTuber. We know you get a lot of shit. We believe you. And that's nice. And I love my fans. I adore my fans. I appreciate all the likes, the comments, the views, all that stuff. But it's so hard. You can't please everybody. And I just got sick and tired of his bullshit. It doesn't matter if it was, oh, he hates the zoo. It's what he did. It's the principle thing. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. No, I don't hate the zoo. I've been going to the zoo ever since I was 5, 6 years old. I love animals. I love the zoo. The only animal I don't like is snakes. Hell, I like alligators more than snakes. I just do not like snakes. You know, ever since I got traumatized and stepped on that snake when I was a kid, they freak me out, you know. I almost got bit by a snake. I think that would traumatize anyone, you know. Then he gave me a lot of shit for reading, where is it? The Charlie Brown book I have up there. Who cares? Wow, I read a book. Do you know the reason why I read that book, Larry? Is because it's the Halloween autumn season. If Larry or people haven't figured it out, I have a lot of vintage things in my life. I like vintage things. I like some new things, but 99.9% of my apartment is vintage shit. Why? Because I love stuff from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Not even the 90s, probably from the 50s to the 80s. They made some great things from the 50s to the 80s. I'm not saying they don't make great things now, but it's very rare. I like a bunch of old stuff. I'm very nostalgic. A lot of my content is either vintage stuff or nostalgic. And I thought, oh, that'll be fun. I've never read that book to the fans. I'll start a new tradition, you know. And he's like, oh, Fears is crazy. He's went off his rockers. He's reading a book. Who cares? I read a book. I don't find anything wrong about that. If it's from my childhood, my mom used to read me that book, and I used to watch the TV special. And I wish I had the TV special because it's from my childhood. I like Charlie Brown. I think those cartoons are cool. Does that make me weird or psycho? No. That's just what I'm into. I've always said, you guys have known me for a very long time, I love cartoons. It doesn't matter if you're 5 years old or 105. I think it's okay to watch cartoons. I love Inspector Gadget. I haven't got that series yet, but whenever I get the series, I will watch all the cartoons and I'll do a review. You guys know I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've got all of those. They're right over there. I haven't had time to watch them all, but it's coming up on my list. I've got the real Ghostbusters, literally. Where are they? Right here. The real Ghostbusters. So, I mean, Captain Planet. I just don't understand. He's like, oh, well, if you read a book, you've gone off your rockers. I don't see it that way. He must not watch my content then, because 99.9% of my content is either nostalgic stuff or vintage stuff, right? Look at what I'm wearing. Vintage. Almost everything in my apartment is either nostalgic or vintage. That's just what I'm into. If you're not into it, great. Keep your fucking comments to yourself, you old fucking bitch. You know? He's like an old married couple. He's like a miserable old, like, sod. You know what I'm saying? And a sod is a British term for, like, an angry asshole. He's angry, he's miserable, he's pissed off. I don't know if he's jealous of me, I don't know if he's obsessed with me, I don't know what the fuck his deal is. But I just wish he would stop. Because if he would just apologize, admit that he was wrong, or leave me alone, he probably would have already been unblocked by now. I know he doesn't even care anymore about being unblocked, you know? But every day, I'm just like, dude, you need to get the fuck over it. Do you know how many people I've blocked? Do you know how many people I've timed out? And people take it so personable. It's insane. Why do you think YouTube invented the timeout button and the block button? They knew, well, it's not going to be all sunshine and roses on YouTube. there's going to be some haters. If people get sick of someone, they're like, I don't want to deal with this person anymore. Time them out. This person keeps harassing me. Okay, you give someone a couple chances. If they keep harassing you, why would you let someone keep harassing you? I'm not going to let someone keep harassing me, so you block them. It's that simple. And I've said it a million times. You either like my content or you don't. If you don't like my content, shut your fucking mouth and exit stage right. It's ridiculous. It's insane. It's insane. And he made so many accusations last night. Like, he still thinks that I'm lying about the Donnie Dust thing. I interviewed the guy. I said, thanks for making me the Blade. And he still didn't. Donnie said, oh, thanks, man. That was my gift to you. He says it in the fucking interview. So, I have no problem reading the messages. Because I'm like, I didn't ask Donnie, but I don't think he would mind. And we've been talking for on and off for 2 years. So I'm just going to read the messages recently that are relevant. Half of our conversation about this Blade and this podcast interview was on TikTok. The other half was on Instagram. I've got them all. So here we go. Because I hope by just reading them, I hope people will finally, most people probably believe me because they're like, oh yeah, Fears wasn't lying. He's got the Blade. He's talking to the guy face to face. Everybody seemed to like that interview, except for Larry. Well, that makes sense because he's angry at me. So he's going to piss and moan on everything that I do, He said I didn't even prepare. I'm like, you're lying. I prepared for a week. I was even honest with Donnie. I said, hey, Donnie, I said, I'm really sorry, man. I said, I wanted to read your entire book in preparation. I said, I just haven't had time. I said, I've read a couple of chapters. And then I told him, I said, I do intend to finish reading the book because I found it a very interesting book. And he said, oh, not a problem, John. He goes, I'm busy. I said, yeah. I said, I've just been so busy, like, preparing for my trip and work. And I even told Donnie, I'm so far behind on my videos. I said, I'm starting to get caught up on my video editing. I said, because I've been trying to at least edit at least one thing a day. And if I do that for a couple weeks, I should be caught up pretty soon. And I'm almost caught up. He fully understood. So I prepared for a week. So at this point, I'm just getting so sick and tired of people not believing me. So I'm just going to tell my fans, you guys know I love you. Either you're going to believe me or not. But I'm so sick of, like, I don't have to prove myself to anyone. I shouldn't have to answer to anyone. But I hope people will start to believe me because I haven't been lying for quite a while now because I don't want to die and have people remember me as, oh yeah, there was two sides to Fears. Happy-go-lucky guy, and then sometimes he got mad and he lied. I don't want that. I want it to be the first half. I want it to be, oh man, it's a shame that Fears passed away, that happy-go-lucky guy. He was all into, like, movie props, and he was into nostalgic stuff and vintage things. Like, oh man, I'm going to miss him doing his lives and shit. Because I hate doing this, but I thought, well, I would, instead of saving all this for the end, I'll do it right now and get it over with. And it sucks that I have to do this, So I have no problem reading them. So I'm going to read the most relevant ones, the ones that are recent, because you guys don't need to hear all the old ones. I'm gonna go in to when I said, hey man, would you like an interview, or could I interview you, and can you make me a Blade? And then I'll read them. I have no problem.
We have proof.
Okay. Now some of these I can't. Show. Hang on, someone texted me. Give me 1 second. Oh, Dave sent me something. Bump in the Night, a horror musical. That's cool. Dave just sent me that. Dave, I will check that out, my friend. Whenever I get some time. All right, so some of these I can't show because it's got Donnie's number in it and it's got my number in it. So those, unfortunately, I'll read the whole message, but I'm not going to give out his number. And Donnie asked for my number, and then he called me, and then I called him back. So I think you guys understand that, because I don't want to expose anyone, And my address and number's already out there enough, you know, so I don't want it out there anymore. So let me just scroll. I'm scrolling back. So let me find the spot where I asked him for the first time, hey, man, I'm a big fan. Like, I would love to buy a knife. Because it all started with me, hey, man, I love your work. I'd love to buy. And he's like, oh, well, I got some of the stuff on my website. I said, yeah. I said, I was wondering if you could, like, remake that blade from my favorite video. He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, I could do that. So I'm going to find that, and let me go back. And I am scrolling. I am scrolling. Here's all the messages. There he is. He sent me a video. It says Donnie Dust. So, because I'm so sick of talking about this. So hopefully, my God, it puts it to rest. Okay. Okay, so this is April 7th. I sent him this video. April 9th, I said, hey, Donnie, check out this video with me and LC at that convention. And so April 16th is the first message. I'm sorry, May 15th, excuse me. Hey, Donnie, can you make an obsidian blade necklace, the one that you made in the bush? And then he didn't respond. May 23rd. Hope all is well, man. July 21st. Hey, Donnie, it's Fears. Been looking through your book. I was wondering if you could talk in my podcast at some point about the blade I would like you to make for me. So I thought, oh, yeah, I'll have him start with that. Then Donnie sends me those two videos. So that's him sending me those two videos. So then I respond to those two videos. I said, awesome video, brother. And then I said, hey, I hate to keep asking. I'm such a big fan. I would really love for you to make that obsidian blade necklace you made in that video. I have no problem paying for it. I know your time is limited and your schedule is busy, but if you could find some time to make it, I would really appreciate it, Donnie. I've been reading your book. I'm a big fan. I'm not all the way through it yet, but I'm making progress. I told people to subscribe to your channel. So just name your price for the obsidian blade necklace, and I have no problem paying for it, buddy. Please let me know as soon as you can. I hope all is well with you and your family. God bless, brother. So there's that big paragraph. So then he sends me these two videos. So then I respond. I said, dude, epic content. And then he says, thanks. You have a podcast with a question mark right there. You have a podcast. And that's that's July 30th, excuse me. I said, I do. I do it on my YouTube channel. And then I responded to his 28 days later, because I'm always asking questions for him to make stuff. And I said, hey, Donnie, I said, can you make a weapon that you would use on zombies in a 28 days later world? And then I asked him another question, because he takes people's questions and makes the stuff. So then I wrote him and said, hey, can you show us how to open some canned food using only the tools that you've made in the bush? So then I wrote and I commented on this video and I said, probably my favorite recent video. And he says, awesome. And then he says, if you ever need a guest, I volunteer as tribute. I'm also working on your obsidian piece. I'm sorry about that. So then I assume he was apologizing for it being so late. So then I wrote, I said, oh, awesome, man, no problem. It will be worth the wait, and when I get the obsidian necklace, I will wear it on my podcast with you. We'll have a discussion. It'll be a good podcast. Can't wait for that. It would be an honor to have you on. And then he says, what's your address? I can't show that. So I said, John Fears. I gave my address, and then I wrote, let me know how much I owe you for the obsidian, for the blade, and how to pay for it, buddy. We'll set up the podcast. So let me cover my address. Oh shit, I can't do that. If you go like that, it does that. So I tried to cover it. So yeah. So I said, let me know how much I owe you for the blade and how to pay for it, buddy. We'll set up the podcast. He says, nothing. Here, let me scroll up so I can show you. He says, nothing, my gift. Hang on. Can you see it? Nothing, my gift. Nothing, my gift. So because he made me wait so long, he says, nothing, my gift. And so he says, I'll be in the bush starting this weekend for about 10 days. How about when I get out of the bush, we'll knock out the podcast. The blade will be in your hands before that. And it absolutely was. I think it came like 5 or 6 days before we actually did the podcast. So then I respond with a long paragraph. I say, oh, wow. Thanks so much, my friend. You have no idea how much that means to me. I can't thank you enough. That's very generous of you, and I am a true fan, and because you gave me that gift, I consider you a friend now. That was very, very, very nice of you. You're the man, dude. Let me know when you're free, and we will for sure set the podcast up. But let's wait till I get the obsidian blade so I can wear it on the podcast. I'll definitely keep in touch, man. That was so nice of you. You're a good friend, Donnie, and an awesome person. I'm glad to be your friend and your fan. Because I was excited. I was like, I was excited that he was going to give me the blade. And I had no problem paying for it. But he was like, no, Fears, I've made you wait long enough. And he said, you guys saw it. It said, nothing, my gift. So then I responded to his conversation about he'll be in the bush. I said, sounds good, my friend. Keep in touch and let me know. God bless, brother. Then he sent me that video. I responded to that video. I said, dude, damn, that content is epic, man. Can't wait to show off my blade to everyone. Then I said, the fans are so excited to see you on my podcast and the Obsidian Blade. I said, it's going to be a fun podcast. How things going out in the bush? And he said, hey, buddy, hope all was well. My trip to New Mexico was great. Thanks for asking. Things have been chaotic with school starting for my kids, but I want to mock out this podcast with you. A great timeline for me is the second week in September. That's when we did it, so you know I'm telling the truth. I'm completely open and free. Let me know your thoughts on that week. Appreciate it. And then I said, absolutely, I'll let you know on that. I still haven't got the Obsidian Blade. I've been waiting for it. I'm glad your trip to New Mexico was great. And the reason why I said that is he's all the way in Colorado. I'm all the way in Florida. It takes time, and I had waited at least a week and a half, and it still hadn't got there. He reassured me, and obviously I got it because you guys have seen me wear it. That's why I said that. And I said, I'm glad your trip to New Mexico was great. I'll have to check my schedule and see what week is good for me because I'm going on vacation to visit my mom in September. Also, I want to know when I can expect the Obsidian Blade. I'm pretty sure I gave you my address, but just in case you didn't get it, here it is again. I give it out again. And then I said, it's a long paragraph, so bear with me. I said, the second week of September is perfect for me. I have already picked out a couple of topics already I have prepared. I want to talk about YouTube and TikTok, your new book. You as a person, I want you to ask a few questions to me. I usually do some questions from the chat, and I end the show with the questions James Lipton did on his Inside the Actor Studio because I love that show, and I always ask every guest those set of questions at the end. Let me scroll up. I said, also, if you can give me an update on the Obsidian Blade, I'm still waiting on. I gave you my address, and I know you live in Colorado, so it may take some time. So then he sent me that video, and then I responded to the video, and I said, sweet video. Did you see my message above? Well, will that work for you? Can you give me an update? Because this was a couple of weeks later. This was August 22nd. And I basically just restated what I said because I didn't know if he had gotten that message. So I basically copied and pasted the same message. And then he says, sounds good. Obsidian Blade is in the mail. Should be there next week. And he said that. And then I said, oh, awesome, my friend. Can't wait to have it, and I'll wear it in our interview. And I do have a few questions. Is there anything you would like to talk about in our interview? I forgot to ask you. We could do a pre-interview hangout to go over the podcast, or we can talk on the phone if you would like. Does everything sound good? If you would like to talk, I can give you my phone number. Can't wait, man. And then he says, let's do a chat before the podcast on whatever platform you use. I'm an open book on everything. No need for me to promote anything. Just looking to hang and have a chat with you. And I was like, okay, cool. So then I said, oh, awesome. I can call you on Instagram. Does that sound all right? And I said, let me know before the podcast when you want to talk. I'm available anytime. And then the story's unavailable, but I commented on his story. Then I sent him the Obsidian Blade video that I made showing off the blade on TikTok. So then September 6th rolls around. I said, hey, Donnie, I made that video for you. Thanks so much, brother, for the Obsidian Blade. It looks awesome. I worn it out a couple of times just out and about. I can't wait to interview you, man, and hang out on the podcast. Just let me know. Some of my haters thought that I bought that and that you didn't make it for me. I can't wait to prove them wrong. I'm proving them wrong right now. I really appreciate it, man. You're definitely a good guy. I consider you a friend, and you are my favorite TikToker, and you're an inspiration. Because he is. I mean, he's got like 10.5 million subscribers. So then I said, get back to me when you can. A couple days go by. It's September 11th. So I wrote him and said, hey, Donnie, what's going on? It's Fears. I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to write you a message, man. I love the Obsidian Blade that you gave me, and I was just wondering when we're going to do our podcast. And he responded because he said a lot of crazy shit went down in Colorado, and he said, I'm about to read it. So I said, just please get back to me ASAP. I cannot wait to hang out with you. Later, brother. And then I sent him these 2 videos, and he liked them. And that's where the TikTok messages stopped. So let's go to Instagram now. And he wrote me on Instagram. So, just to show everybody, I am friends. There's Donnie right there. So, let me scroll back up. So, I said, hey, buddy. I said, thanks for the blade. And I sent that on September 6th, too, just in case if he didn't get it. So then I said, let me know about the podcast, brother. That was on September 8th. Then I said, hey, brother, just checking up. What day is good for you about the podcast? September 11th, I wrote him on here, too, and I said pretty much the same thing. I highlighted and copied the same message about, hey, let me know when you can get back to me ASAP, blah, 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 blah. And so then he writes and says, I said, I hope I'm not bothering you. And he says, it's not a bother at all. Life just got pretty hectic here with the school shootings as it was the school my son went to. Let's jump on a call tomorrow around midday. I'm in Colorado and you're in Florida. So it's 11 o'clock here and it's 1 o'clock for you. Give me your number and I'll give you a call and we can coordinate a time on Monday or Tuesday. Sorry, amigo, about the lack of communication. Glad the blade is working out for you. So then I felt bad because I was like, oh, damn, there's a shooting at his son's school. I was like, that sucks. So then I wrote, oh, damn, man, so sorry to hear that happened, man. Not a problem. Man, I totally understand. My number is such and such. And I said, we can talk on my cell or you can call me on Instagram. And then he says, let me scroll up. I said, I'll call your cell. Thanks. Appreciate you greatly. I said, cool. Looking forward to your call tomorrow. And then I sent him 2 of my best interviews. And then I wrote, 2 of my best interviews gives you an idea on how our interview with you will go. And then I sent him Fears Vlogs and Fears Man so he could check out my channel. And then that's the StreamYard link that I sent him. So I hope all of that finally puts a rest. I didn't pay for the blade. He is a real person. He made it for me because, you know, it took him forever. And we were trying to settle on a price. And then he said, you know what, Fears? I've made you wait too long. I'm going to make this blade for you, you know, as my gift to you for making you wait. And I told him off camera, I was like, I have no problem paying for it. And you guys heard me say that in the messages. So I hope Larry will finally shut the fuck up about that. Because that is the honest-to-God truth. I read the messages verbatim. So yeah. And anyway, I hope things get better. And I want you guys to believe me. I really want you guys to believe me. I told the truth. That's what he said. That's what I said. He's a real person. I interviewed with him. So, but no matter what I say, watch it. I bet you 10 to 1. Larry will still not believe me, even though I read the messages verbatim. So, guess what, Larry? Ha ha ha. I got the best of you. He is a real person. He actually likes my content. He wanted to be on my podcast. He wasn't rushing me. He literally said, I've got all day, brother. He had no problem. After our interview, off camera, he said, he goes, it was a very fun interview, Fears. He goes, I could tell you were really prepared. And I said this to him. I said, hey, I hope I didn't go too long. He said, no, you're good, Fears. He's like I said, I've got nothing to do today. And I said, great. And then I said, hey, would you ever want to come back on the podcast? He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, I'm going to be busy the next couple of months. But he goes, maybe in the new year, we could do another one, like a follow-up. I said, oh, man. I said, I would love to. And he's like, well, now you got my number, so keep in touch. I said, yeah, man. I said, I'll definitely keep in touch. And then I said, I would love to come down and hang out, maybe do a vlog in the bush. And he was like, we could do that. He goes, that's easy, Fears. And I was like, sweet, man. I said, now that we're friends, I said, you got my number. I'll just keep in touch. And I thought it was a very nice interview. I just hate that some people would think that I bought it. I was going to buy it, but then it took, he said, hey, Fierce, I'll make you one. You can buy it. That was the plan. And then I guess he got really busy with, life. And I understand that. Life is so busy. He said, I feel bad, Fierce. My gift to you, I'll make it. And I said, wow, man. I said, that's really nice of you. And he is a stand-up guy. Now, I will say, Larry said some very nice things about Donnie, and he was 100% right about that. He was like, I think Donnie's a nice guy. He seems pretty cool. Donnie is a nice guy. He is really cool. And I'm honored to be his friend now, and I'm honored to be like one of his number one fans. I've always thought his content was great. And the reason why is I did all that Boy Scout stuff as a kid, and I would build fires, and I went camping a lot. Even though my dad really didn't like camping anymore because he did so much camping in the military, he said, John, if I'm with you and your brother and your mom, then it's fun. He goes, if I went camping with like some of my guy friends, he goes, I would not enjoy it because my dad, they did so much camping in the military. He's like, I got sick of it. But as long as my dad was with his family, then it was fun. And then the reason why I found Donnie, I was just scrolling, how you find people on TikTok, and it just happened to be one of his, hey, Donnie, can you make this? And I thought it was interesting. I was like, wow, he made that stone blade with his own two hands. I was like, damn, it's pretty cool. And then I thought, I'll give him a follow, watch a couple of his videos, and then I was like, oh, man, it's so cool. He takes people's suggestions, and then everything's handmade, and what's really cool is he doesn't use any like copper, steel, metal. It's all stuff from nature. Like one of them's like, hey, Donnie, can you make a spear? And he's like, yeah. He took an obsidian blade, I believe, or some type of rock, carved it into like an arrow, like a point. Then he chopped off a stick or a branch off a tree, sliced off all the bark, carved it down, made a little incision, put the blade in, wrapped it, and then he actually threw the spear, and it like stuck into the grass. And I was like, that probably took him hours to make just for this video, but I'm like, that's pretty damn cool. So that's all I wanted to say. So hopefully everybody believes me now. Mostly, I think everyone believed me because I actually interviewed him. It was just a few bad apples that didn't believe me, but now I showed the proof. So Larry, if you don't believe me now, then that's on you because I'm telling the honest-to-God truth, So there it is. There it is. So anyway, but I told Lantern, I said, and I'm going to say one more thing, and then I'm going to actually start and do my podcast because I said, instead of saying all this shit at the end, I'm going to say it all at the very beginning. And then, because I don't want to talk about Larry anymore on my podcast. I'll only do it if I have to, because I would rather just ignore him and just get back to the happy-go-lucky podcast that everybody loves. Because you guys probably get sick and tired of hearing this. I know for a fact I get sick and tired of it. I even asked Landon, I said, do you get sick and tired of Larry coming in, taking over your show, even when I'm not there? He'll bring me up and talk about me for hours, take over Landon's show. He did it last night. He absolutely did it last night. And he's a fucking liar if he said he didn't. I left. He must have brought me up 6, 7 more times, and I'm like, Bukaki and Vision said it. They literally said, we don't care anymore. They said that. And I'm like, well, I know why Larry is still bringing me up, because he's a fucking troll. He likes drama. And I had to correct Visions. I don't like drama. Drama seems to chase me or follow me. I absolutely do not like drama. I hate when I have to do all this shit. I hate it. I don't like, confronting people. I don't like causing drama or getting drama. Absolutely not. So, at this point, you're either going to believe me or you're not going to believe me. And I hope, after telling the truth for quite a while, I hope people start to believe me, because I'm so sick of people making up rumors, making up lies, and not believing anything I say when I'm actually trying not to lie anymore, and I've actually been telling the truth for quite a while. And I loved the interview with Donnie. I thought it went very good. I'd say my two favorite, all the interviews are great, but my two favorites so far that I did the most preparation was the Dorothy interview and the Donnie interview. I've prepared the most. The Scream Per Diem guy, I didn't know much about him, so I just watched, I watched Scream 1 and Scream 2 to familiar, because I hadn't watched him in a while. And then I watched a handful of his videos, probably 20, 30 of his videos, because I've been watching him for a long time, because he makes great Scream, well, most of his content is Scream content, but he also dresses up like Michael Myers sometimes, and he dresses up as Chase and a few other, but 90% of it is Ghostface. So yeah. But I hope all that stuff helps now. And I told Lantern, I think it's just best, because I don't feel welcome on Lantern's channel anymore. And it's not Lantern's fault, it's nobody else's fault, it's Larry's fault. Because I couldn't even come in just for 10 minutes and say, hey, Lantern, what's up? Hey, Visions, what's up? Without getting attacked. And I don't want to ruin Lantern's channel. I don't want to ruin his lives. And until this is resolved, I said, you know what, Lantern? You guys heard me. I even had a private conversation with Lantern off camera, and I said, Lantern, it's not worth it. The fans don't want to see us argue. I don't want to argue. You don't want me and Larry bickering on your fucking channel. So I said, I don't really feel welcome. So I said, maybe I should just hang out in the chat. And I said, because I usually listen to Lantern's content while I edit. So I'll sit here or I'll put the laptop on my legs and I'll lay on the couch and edit, and I'll listen to the show while I'm editing, So Lantern, I'm not saying that I'll never come back on the show, but I just got to stay away for a little while, because I do not want to argue with Larry anymore, and I don't want to get attacked, because that's exactly what he did. He came in there and just bold-faced attacked me. What was so funny about it, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, is he's like, well, you don't know all the sides. Motherfucker, you don't know all the sides. Nobody does, because were you there? I love how he's a mind reader, too. And he's like, oh, well, Fears will probably do this. Oh, man, Fears, if he was in Chicago, he'd just go up, hey, what's up, I'm Fears. No, I absolutely would not, I love how these idiots are fucking mind readers. I'm like, I know what the hell I would do, because I'm me. I know what the hell I would say. I know what the hell I'm saying when I tell people the truth. He makes a lot of assumptions up. And he must have made, 9, 10 assumptions last night. Oh, he would do this and he'd do that. I'm like, that's wrong, that's a lie, that's an assumption. I was like, Jesus Christ. And it all stems from him being a miserable fucking person, and he's all pissed off, acting like a fucking 4-year-old because I blocked him. Get the fuck over it. Jesus fucking Christ, you're an idiot. Anyway, I don't know what to do. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to tell you. But anyway, that's my piece. It only took me 50 minutes, because I knew it was going to take me a while to read all those messages. But now that that's finally behind us, I will open up the chat and I will get back to what's most important, hanging out with my actual fans and getting on with the actual content. Again, I was going to do this at the very end, but I thought, no, just get it over with, Fears. Just get it over with right at the front. So I hope things get better. I really do. And the only way that it'll get better is if you apologize and you admit that you were wrong, admit that you started it, but he won't. So, I don't know when I'm going to unblock him. But if he thinks constantly harassing me is going to get him to unblock me, he's more dumber than I thought he already was, you know? Constantly harassing someone's not going to change my mind about unblocking him, you know? Anyway, I'm done talking about it. Let's open up the chat. There we are. So there it is. All right, let me open up the chat. Block me. All right, here we go. All right. Well, I gotta catch up with the chat because the chat is very, very, very. I need to catch up. So yeah. Yo, Lantern. He says hot chocolate first. You know what, Lantern? Around Christmas time, I'll probably make some hot chocolate, but I'm drinking coffee right now, buddy. Out of one of my favorite mugs. Hell yeah. Thrilling 3. Well, Lantern, remember, I said, during the spooky season and the Christmas season, like when it hits Christmas, I'll probably play some Christmas songs to start off the podcast. So, yeah. What's up, Crumbles? What's up, Mama Bear? Good to see you. She says, hi, John. What's up? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Good to see the loving and loyal fans. So, yeah. Need to tell Larry to leave fears alone. You know what, Tina? I appreciate it. You don't have to get involved, Tina. And, Tina, I don't want you to cry again. You know, because, Tina, you're my friend. The best way to deal with Larry, Tina, is just ignore him. I mean, Tina, you can be friends with Larry all you want. I'm going to ignore him as much as possible, you know, because all he wants is a reaction. So, but I appreciate your support, Tina. You've always been a good friend since day one, and I'm honored to have you and Dave and James friends. You guys are good people. So, yeah. What's up, Lantern? Lantern says, shout out to the chat. Hell yeah. What's up, Sammy? Show some support, people. Sub it up. Thanks, Lantern. I appreciate that. Hi, y'all. What are we doing? Well, I was discussing some drama, but now I'm done, Sammy. What's up, Joey? Good to see you. What is up? Let's see here. What's up, Bukaki? What's up? Oh, I doubt that, Bukaki. He's definitely not a good person. He's not a good person. Not at all. He once was a good person, but yeah, he's not a good person. Not in my eyes. No. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, Crumbles, the reason is I'm doing fall season thumbnails. And a turkey, it's not a Thanksgiving turkey, it's just a turkey. People eat turkey in the fall season. I'm covering all of them. Like, when we get to Halloween, it'll just be Halloween thumbnails. When we get to November, it'll just be Thanksgiving thumbnails. Or the Thanksgiving season thumbnails. When we get to Christmas, it'll just be Christmas thumbnails. So, yeah. But right now, I'm doing all... Since we're in September, there's no holidays in September. Or, I don't think there is. Hang on. September. Let me look at my calendar. There's Labor Day. I already did Labor Day, but that's it. Labor Day is on September 1st, and we're on the 19th. So I'm going to be here from... So I think I'm going to do the big podcast with all the guys either Sunday or maybe Monday or Tuesday, because I leave next Friday on the 26th, and I so am looking forward to my vacation. I need a rest. But it's going to be fun. I'm going to hang out with my buddy Eric and Chicken Wizard and my mom and go visit my dad and, visit my grandma and get them some nice flowers. And I'm going to go say hi to my church family in Missouri, and I'm going to basically just make the rounds and try to hang out with as many of my family and friends as possible. My aunt said she may throw me like a welcome home party, which is it's very nice for her. I don't know really what they all have planned. I've got a couple of plans, but I don't know what my family's got planned. Meet Shelton. I can't wait to meet the little guy. You guys know I bought him some clothes. So hopefully his dad and his mom, my brother, hopefully they'll like the clothes I got him. I think I got him some cool stuff. I mean, I showed you guys the clothes. You guys thought they were pretty cool, so I am so excited to hang out with my family. So, yeah. What's up, Strong Bear? What's up, Dave? Dave, I appreciate you sending me that, what was it called again? It was a musical, right? Hang on, let me look at the message you sent me. Bump in the Night, a horror musical, Ghostface Scream 5. So I'll definitely check it out. I definitely will check it out. Yeah. Thank God it's Friday though. You know, no work tonight. I don't have work tonight or Saturday, and then I have work Sunday night going into Monday morning. So yeah. What's up, Liz? Good to see you. Welcome back, Liz, to the chat. Liz, you know, I'm so sorry that we also thought. I did apologize to Liz. And, you know, Liz, I'm sorry that things got out of hand. I really am. But I'm glad that you're back. Because Liz has always been a fan of mine for quite a long time. So, yeah, it's good to have you back. It's good to have you back. It's gonna take me a minute to get through all the chat. Yo, what's up, Visions? Good to see you. He says, hi, Tina. Howdy, Visions. All right now, Visions. Howdy, Lantern. In the end, Donnie paid the price. That's not true, Visions. That's absolutely not true whatsoever. That's not true. He actually loved the interview. So, I know you're joking, but that's 100% not true. Yeah, I thought it was a very good interview. Very good interview. Vision says, howdy, Liz. Talking turkey on YouTube. I don't know. Do you think that Donnie would let you call him Donald? I have no idea, Bukaki. I'm gonna call him Donnie because that's his name online. You know, if I ever hung out with him face to face and he was like, "Hey, Fierce, call me this," then I would be polite and call him that. But as far as I know, he likes Donnie. You know, so yeah. But yeah. Well, here's the thing, Liz. Liz says the thought of paying for things. I absolutely had no problem. I was like, man, I said, I love that blade out of that video. I said, hey, could you remake that? He's like, yeah. He's like, Fierce, that blade is easy because I could make that in about an hour or two. And I said, great. I said, I have no problem paying for it. But because he's busy and he's way busier than I am. He's got 10.5 million on YouTube, and then he's got 1 million or 2 on his YouTube channel, and he's always getting projects. He's always working on some. It was worth the wait, because when I did get the blade, I was like, well, this blade's pretty fucking cool. It was worth the wait. He even apologized. He goes, Fears, I'm so sorry that it took that long. And you guys heard me say, I said, well, hey, I don't mind paying for it. He's like, how much do I owe you? How do you want me to pay? And because I was like, you want me to, send you some cash? Like, do I pay through your website? Whatever. And he was like, nothing. My gift to you. And I was like, wow, man, that's really nice. Thanks. So, yeah. Let's see. Vision says I have 2 sides. One fried, one mashed. Oh, what? On the turkey? Listen. When it comes to turkey, Visions, I'll have it fried. I'll have it cooked. I love turkey in general, But my favorite meal, it stinks that my grandma's passed away because both of my grandmas I love and I miss them very much. But both of my grandmas taught my mom how to cook. But all the fierce women, whether it was my aunt, my grandma, my mom, they're all good cooks. And I love whenever my mom or my grandma or my aunt makes Thanksgiving dinner, it's fantastic. And then whenever my mom she would do both. She'd do a typical British Christmas dinner, which is fan-fucking-tastic, or whenever she did an American Christmas dinner. Since I have both cultures, my mom would flip-flop. She would ask my dad, like, hey, do you want to do a British meal this time, or do you want to do an American? And we would just jump back and forth, so yeah. But I'll eat turkey and mash anyway. I freaking love it. So, yeah. What's up, Jucifer? How about we get some foil on that? Well, I just put some on it. So it's good for a while. Oh, he's fine, Jucifer. He says, Lantern, stop spanning. He's all right. He's fine. He says, what's going on? What's going on? Yo, what's up? There you go, Chicken Wizard. Have at it. Have at it. So, yeah. How was the rest of Lantern's stream last night? I didn't want to. If Larry wasn't in there, then it was good. That's all I'm going to say. Because, again, I went in there, and he came in guns fucking blazing. Me and Vision was just having a nice, civil conversation. Lantern was chiming in. And he's like, you don't know shit, Fears! You don't know shit! You're talking out of your ass! Like out of nowhere. I'm like, all right, back the fuck off, dude. I'm telling you, he's fucking insane. He's fucking crazy. He's fucking nuts. Pretty insane. I was door dashing after work. Oh, there you go, Chicken Wizard. I've used DoorDash a couple of times. I haven't in a while, but I've used it a couple times. So, yeah. Will you ever? Oh, I'm not going to answer that. But to answer your question, Jucifer, I'm not going to use it on him. But people want me to use the blade. I think Bukaki gave me a great idea. It was either Bukaki or somebody said, Fears, I should shave with it. So I'm going to shave with it. And then I told Donnie, I'm going to make a steak or I'm going to make some chicken. And I think Donnie gave me the idea. He goes, yeah, Fears, you should just cook something and then try to cut the meat with it. I was like, that's a great idea. That would make a great TikTok video. So I am going to do that. Probably not on YouTube. I'll probably save the shaving thing for my TikTok since Donnie is on TikTok more than YouTube. And I'll save the cutting of the meat with the blade. But to answer Bukaki's question, he asked me last night, hey, Fears, are you going to get that flint napping kit? I'm thinking about it. The only thing, though, about getting it, because people judge you on YouTube. I guarantee if I bought it, Bukaki, Larry would be the first one to be like, oh, you're not doing it right, Fears. His rock came out shitty. And I just don't even feel like hearing all that fucking garbage, you know? But I'm thinking about it. I may get it. I haven't decided, but we'll see. It's a musical starring all the horror. That's what it seems like, Dave. I'll definitely check it out. The thumbnail on it looked really cool. I definitely will check it out. Absolutely. And Dave, I'm still up for when I get back from my trip. Let's see. So Dave, the ones I'm going to miss are the Jacksonville one. I wasn't planning to go to that one anyway, Dave, because Jacksonville's like 3 hours away, so that'd be 3 hours there and 3 hours back. I'm going to miss the October 4th and October 5th one. But you said Dave canceled the Daytona one. So really, the only one I'm going to miss is the October 4th, the Kissimmee Collectors Fest. Which sucks because that's one of my favorite ones he does. But my family is more important. So Dave, when I get back, I'm going to try to hit up the Port St. Lucie Collectors one. And I love the Florida Extravaganza one. So we should do those. At least one day, because November 1st and 2nd, that's when you said Spooky Empire is. So if we just do one day at Spooky Empire, or if you want to, since I've never been to Spooky Empire, I will absolutely, maybe we could skip this one and just do Spooky Empire for 2 days. So Dave, you let me know. And if just you and me want to go, or if you want to bring the whole family, Dave, if you want to bring Tina and James, me and you, I'm up for whatever you want to do, James. So, yeah. Because I've never got a chance to... I've gone to horror conventions, but I've never gone to Spooky Empire. I know Adam the Woo goes to that one all the time. I already know if I went there, that Spooky Empire would be some really cool footage. Absolutely. You know, so... it's worth checking out at least for a day. You know, but Dave, call me before I go on my trip or after. We'll figure it out. So, yeah. So, yeah, dude. Strong Bear says, hey, Lantern, what's up, Liz? Howdy, Dave. Hey, Juice. Hey, Sammy. Hey, Boo. Do you think you can mail me some Thanksgiving turkey and some pie? No, I cannot, Bukaki, because I'm sure your family will make all that stuff, you know? So, you guys know I love turkey and pumpkin pie. So, I'm going to save all that for me. Me! I'm sure you'll have enough food, Bukaki, with you and your family. It's not that I don't like Thanksgiving. I do like Thanksgiving. I just like Christmas and Halloween and my birthday more. But yeah. So I haven't made any Thanksgiving plans yet, but you guys know what's coming up is I'm going to do on October 31st, I'm going to do the big live stream with you guys. I'll probably go to Universal or Disney. I may go to Universal this time because last year I did Disney on October 31st. I may shake it up a little bit. I'm going to go to some park on October 31st during the day. At night, I'm going to do the Halloween stream in my costume, and I hope everybody dresses in costume. And then after it, I'll take my costume off, and or maybe I'll leave it on all night and just in costume watch all the horror movies. I'm starting, though, with Escape from New York. And even though that's not a horror movie, it's my character, you know, that I'm being. So, yeah. So, tonight and tomorrow, I'm going to try to order the rest of my costume. So, I've got the wig. I'm not doing his coat, because that would be too hot, because wearing a leather jacket in Florida, that's not good. And I already have a leather jacket back in Missouri. I just didn't bring it here because I know I would never use it. So I'm going to order the eye patch off of Etsy because I found one on Etsy in an official Escape from New York bag, and it comes with a bunch of Escape from New York goodies. So not only could I do an unboxing, I'll have to find it. I didn't save it, but I'll find it. And it's got the eye patch. The eye patch on Etsy looks like more like the one that he wore in the movie. The one at Spirit, it was more like a pirate's type of eye patch. And I was like, he didn't wear a pirate's eye patch. He just wore a normal eye patch. And so the one off of Etsy, I'm going to probably order tonight or tomorrow. I still need to order the Jurassic Park night vision goggles because I want to put that either in front of the tree or behind the tree. Or I've got Chucky sitting over there, and I've got the orange Jurassic Park hard hat on his head. I may put the night vision goggles on his face and then put the hat on. And then Halloween and Christmas Eve, I'm going to turn on the green lights because if you look on the thing, there's a button on the side that makes it zoom in and out. I've always wanted that prop, too. Ever since I was a kid and I saw Jurassic Park. The first time I saw Jurassic Park was in the 90s. It was me, my dad, my mom, my brother, and I believe my British grandma. Because she saw that before. She passed away in 2001. I knew my British grandma was going to die because she smoked a lot. And I mean a lot. She would smoke at least a pack or two a day. So, and there was only one time that it scared me. Because I told you guys my popcorn went up in the air. And either my mom or my dad had to go pay for another thing of popcorn because I had it in my lap. So it was me and my dad was sitting right next to me. And then it was my mom and then my brother and then my grandma. And it was the part where the guy's like, loading team, step away. Gatekeeper. And it's the same scene with all of them in the orange hard hats. And the black guy tries to open up the gate, and then the raptor goes flying and knocks him off, and then grabs his legs and sucks him in and starts eating him. And then the Australian guy with the hat tries to grab him, and he's like, shoot her! Shoot her! That fucking scene. When he gets sucked in, I was like, you know, as a little kid, I kind of jumped like that because it scared the hell out of me. Now, I don't get scared at all, but as a kid, that part kind of freaked me out a little bit. And the popcorn went flying. And I don't remember who bought me another thing of popcorn, but somebody bought me another thing. The rest of it, I was totally fine with. It was just that one part. It scared the shit out of me. So, yeah. Chicken Wizard says, hi, Masters Strong Bear and Mama Bear. Shaved turkey. you could get the kit, and only upload a vlog of it. If it turns out okay. True, Bukaki. I thought about doing a live though if I get it. I thought about taking my laptop because I wouldn't want to do it inside here because if I did all that flint napping here, all the stone bits would go everywhere. I'd rather go sit by the lake. There's a picnic table, so I'd have the lake in the background, sit at the picnic table, and then just put my laptop. I hope the internet would connect, and I would try to do a live out there, you know. So that was my initial idea because I always like trying new things and experimenting and making new content for you guys, you know, because I always try and be the best YouTube vlogger, the best YouTube host, the best content I can possibly think of. I know not everybody, Visions, I'm not calling you out, but I know sometimes you whiz through the Disney stuff. I'm sure you watch a tiny bit of it, but you've said many times you don't like it, and that's okay. I know not everyone is going to like it. The reason why I like Disney so much is I have great memories of me, my mom, and my brother, and my dad, either just our immediate family going to Disneyland or Disney World, or whenever my British family would fly over to America, they would beg my mom and my dad, hey, can we spend at least 2 or 3 days like in Florida? Or I've only went to Disneyland once. One of my British family members was like, yeah, we took our family to Disney World and we thought it was crap. Like, do you mind us going to like California? So I've only done Disneyland once. I would love to do Disneyland again because I don't remember. The only thing I remember is my mom and my dad went into, there's only 2 parks out in California. There's California Adventures, I believe is what they call it out in California. I've never went to that one. Eric, my best friend Eric, has took his wife. They've done it, and they were like, oh, Fears, you'd love it. And I was like, I've never been there. The only one I've went to is the Magic Kingdom in Disneyland. And the only thing I remember is my mom and my dad. I was so young. I was like, I don't know, 10, 11, maybe even younger than that. Somewhere between 8 and 11, I remember my mom was like, hey, let's go ride on the carousel, because that was Walt Disney's favorite ride, and he would take him and Mrs. Disney and ride on the carousel. And it's the original carousel, the one that Walt had installed in, and I was like, hey, can we ride that? So I remember riding that vividly, but that's the only thing I remember. So, but I have great memories of that, so I know not everyone's going to like it, but I still appreciate you guys watching every video, but like you said, Visions, you're like, you know, Disney's all right, Fears, but it's just not for me. That's fine. I don't expect everyone to like every single video. That's why I try to do a little bit of everything. I'm like, all right, I did a Disney vlog today. The next vlog, it'll be me hanging out in Atomic Core. The next one, oh, hey, Christmas is right around the corner. Let's, you know, I'll film myself at, you know, church, you know, eating the Christmas dinner that they always do every year or whatever. I always try to do a variety of variety. How do you ever say that word? A mix of different content. God, that was a mouthful. Excuse me. There. Oh, I'll have to text them later. All right. Let's see. Chicken Wizard says, hey Liz, hey Bukaki and Lantern Boy, yo Jucifer. Oh, he's in the chat. He's in the chat. Hi Chicken Wizard, the great poultry sorcerer in the land. This is true. This is very true. Very, very true. Plus, I'm very excited. I have met Chicken Wizard. He's a great guy, good friend. Chicken Wizard, we're going to hit up the video games, and we're going to hit up probably the greatest toy show / Comic-Con in Missouri. The fucking Toy Man Toy Show. Hell yeah. It's going to be good. And you found a lot of gems last time, Chicken Wizard. The funniest one, though, I was a teenage terrorist. I remember I grabbed the tape and I was like, what the fuck is this? You know? And I tried to find it. They didn't even make it. Well, I couldn't find it. Maybe it's on DVD. Maybe it's on Blu-ray. I sure as hell couldn't find it. And I searched for a while because Chicken Wizard, it did spark my interest. And I was like, this sounds hilarious. I gotta find it. I gotta watch it. So yeah. Speaking of watches, tonight's watch, I didn't get a chance. I'm sorry, Visions. I'm gonna watch Crybaby. And you know what? I think I'm going to watch Crybaby, and I'm going to watch Alien Terror. It looked like a cheap version of Alien. It looks like a ripoff of Alien. But this made me laugh, and then the description made me laugh. And then I watched the trailer a couple days ago for you guys, and I was just like, this looks fucking hilarious. So, this tonight, and Crybaby. I've never seen any of this. I've seen bits of this, because Johnny Depp, I think, is a great actor, so that's what I'll be reviewing tomorrow. So, yeah. I like to have beans on toast with a fried egg and bacon, like I'm British. I've had it many times. Many, many, many times. And Chicken Wizard, I'm here to say I'm going to give it a big thumbs up. It's pretty good. It is pretty good. I have had blood sausage. Again, it's not my favorite, Dave, but I have had blood sausage. But what Chicken Wizard just said, fan-fucking-tastic. Oh, yeah. Let's see. My favorite Snake Plissken quote is when he says, I don't give a fuck about your war or your president. That's a good one. That's from the first one. So, here's in preparation of Halloween, I'm going to watch Escape from New York and Escape from L.A. again. And if I can't remember all the quotes, I remember a lot of them, but I don't remember all of them because I am human. But my favorite one, Bukaki, Visions, you know what I'm about to say. It's not even in the fucking movie. It's in the trailer. It's in Escape from L.A. Chicken Wizard, watch the trailer. He just goes, looks right into camera, and he's got his gun, you know, like down here, and he just looks and he goes, you know, your rules. He either says your rules or, you know, all these rules are really beginning to annoy me. And he looks so badass. He just looks right in there. He's like, you know, all these rules are really starting to annoy me. And I can't do it as good as Kurt Russell, but hell yeah. The hardest thing to find for this costume will be that life clock. I'm going to try. Even the replica, the official one they made is like $900 to $1,000. And I was like, I'm not paying that much. No. The replica that was made by a different company is like the cheapest one I found on, I found one on Etsy and then I found one on eBay. And the one on eBay was like $200 or $300. And I was like, fucking hell, that's a lot still. I'm like, it's cheaper, but it's still high on the list, you know. I was like, damn, that's pretty nuts, you know. Ever had haggis? I don't think so. Hang on. Let me ask Meta. It sounds familiar, Dave, but I need Meta to describe it to me because I don't think I've had that, but let's see. Hey, Meta, what is haggis?
Haggis is a traditional Scottish dish made from sheep's heart, liver, and lungs, mixed with onions, oatmeal, and spices. It's usually encased in the animal's stomach and simmered in water. Haggis is often served with mashed potatoes.
No, I've never had a sheep's heart. That's just too much, Dave. And they said it's smothered and then it's baked in the stomach. I was like, ew, that's fucking disgusting. So no. Now that I know what it is, probably I'm gonna skip that. It doesn't sound appetizing. A sheep's heart. That's fucking nuts. That's nuts. I'm good on that. I'm really good on that. All right, now that I caught up with everybody, let's get to the first official topic. All right, and again, I'm sorry, but I had, you know, I'm not gonna let Larry push me around, or bully me, or harass me, and he was saying a lot of crazy shit that was completely untrue, and I was like, I'm gonna tell the fans the truth, you know, because it does hurt, you know, online when someone makes fun of you. I mean, it's just ridiculous, you know. And he doesn't act like a 52-year-old man, but I hope things get better. I really hope it gets better. That's a fake lantern. Bye, you're gone. That's not lantern. Bye. That's probably Larry checking in. I don't like fake people. If someone's faking somebody, I don't like that because I know it's going to be a troublemaker. All right. All right. Tina, the book's coming along quite well. All right. I think I'm going to start with reviewing Skyfall. It's a lot better than I thought. I hadn't seen it in a while, so Quantum of Solace was crap. It was all right, but Skyfall was actually pretty good. So yeah. So Skyfall. So now the only one I have to watch is Spectre, and I'll probably watch that tomorrow night because I've already made my selections. I've got Spectre to watch, and then the last Daniel Craig one that's not in this big pack. It's over there. And then I'll watch all the James Bond. So I believe that was 24? It's either 23 or 24 James Bonds. I watched them all in order. Thank you for the 3 likes. I don't know who gave me the 3 likes, but I appreciate the 3 likes. Thank you so much. It's all right. Skyfall. It's the last one to have, I forgot that British actress, but she plays M. So she dies, and then Mallory takes over for M, because M is always James Bond's boss, and then and they always find someone that has a name that starts with an M, and then they shorten it just to M. So the British lady, she dies at the end of the film, and then Mallory, which is her boss, he takes over, and now he's the new M. And then you meet for the first time the new Q, because the original Q, the old guy, he was in every single James Bond film from Dr. No, and then he retired right after he did his last one in The World Is Not Enough. So he did every single Bond film from Dr. No to The World's Not Enough. Then for a while, it was that guy from the Mighty Python. He filled in for 2 or 3, and then now there's a new kid. He's like a real young actor. I forgot his acting name, but he's the new Q. So I'm going to write down a new M is in this. A new Q. And Q stands for quartermaster. He gets all the gizmos and gadgets. He books all of James Bond's like flights and builds all the cars that he drives and all that other bullshit. And then M stands for, you know, the person's name that's in charge of MI6, which is British intelligence. You know, it's their version of kind of like the CIA and the Secret Service meshed together. It's their official, like, you know, that's what James Bond works at, and that's his headquarters. In this one, the MI6 building gets blown up, so now they have to find a new, kind of like new digs. So, old building blows up, and they have a new building. So there you are. So new MI6. You find out about Bond's, like where he grew up. So, Bond's origins. Great villain. Great villain. He wants to kill all the MI6 agents because he once was an agent. And he feels like that M, you know, fucked him over. So he's like, all right, well, you're going to fuck me over? Well, guess what? I'm just going to kill all your agents, then there won't be an MI6. Fuck you, you know? So, but then, of course, Bond takes him down. So, a good villain. Good villain. Great movie locations. They were all over the place in this one. Great movie locations. It was better than I thought. So, yeah. I'm going to give Skyfall a solid. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It was pretty good. Wasn't the best, but it was pretty good. Pretty good. I definitely would watch it again. So 9 out of 10. My 2 favorite Daniel Craigs will always be Casino Royale and Spectre. Those are my 2 favorite. Because in Spectre, he has 2 great cars. And then his watch is fucking... It's such a cool watch. And if Fears ever has the money to get a real one, or if Fears has enough money to buy a replica, you bet your ass I'll buy that watch and wear it. Because I love wearing watches. So yeah, I still want to get the MacGyver watch at some point. He wears a military watch, which is so fucking cool, and hell yeah. So the best gadget in this one is they bring back, finally, they bring back the Aston Martin, the 1960s one. Oh yeah, and he pushes a button. And these machine guns come out of the headlights, and he just, like, takes down, like, 6 or 7 motherfuckers at the end. Just blows them away, and then the little barrels just go doo-doo-doo-doo back in, and the headlights go down, and it's like you never saw them. So, the Aston Martin, the 60s one, the classic one, it's fucking back. So, Aston Martin is back. My 2 favorite scenes is right after M dies, then the new M comes in, and Bond walks in, and it's just, because they used to do this in the old Bonds, he would always be like, so 007, lots to be done, and then he would hand him, you know, his assignment in the old ones, and they recreate that. He comes in, he's like, how's the arm, M? Because the bad guy, you know, he hurts the new M. And he's like, what? He's like, oh, yeah, it's fine. He goes, it'll get better. And then they exchange a couple of words, and he goes, so 007. And he grabs 007's, you know, new mission file, and he goes, so 007, lots to be done. And he hands it to him. And then he goes, are you ready to get back to work? And he goes, with pleasure, Q. And then, bam, it goes right into the James Bond music. It has Daniel Craig walk across, you know, the classic with the white circles like Bond always does, grabs the gun, shoots it, and boom, it's the end. Because normally, in the old Bond films, you would always see him walk across, and then all the red blood would do it right at the beginning. Well, in the Daniel Craig one, they always do it at the end. So they still follow the rules, but they shake it up a little bit. So that scene was great. That's probably my second favorite scene. Are you ready to get back to work? And then, without a doubt, my favorite scene, because it's just classic James Bond scene, he gets a tip that one of the villains that he has to take down, because there's 2 villains in this. There's a woman, kind of a woman villain, and then there's the main bad guy that's a dude. She's kind of like a henchman or whatever. He goes to this Japanese casino, and he gives him this chip that was on a bad guy, and this Japanese guy comes out and goes, oh, fortune is with you. And they give him like $4 million in like Japanese money. And Moneypenny is there. And she's in the background. And it shows you how Moneypenny and Bond meet. And before M assigns Moneypenny to a desk, because always in the old ones, you always would see Moneypenny, James, how was your trip? How was your mission? And she was always at the desk. In this one, she started off in the field, and then she decides, you know, working in the field is not for me. I'm going to have a desk job. So I forgot to write that down. So Moneypenny is introduced in this one, because these are origin stories. Moneypenny. And in the Chinese one, it's just classic James Bond material. He goes, he has a martini, he talks to a couple sexy ladies, he does some gambling. Then he said, well, I gotta, like, there's this casino chip off this bad guy. I want to exchange it in. He gets the $4 million, and then he talks to the lady, and she's like, I was wondering who would redeem the chip. She goes, I just want to let you know that after you get done talking with me and we have a drink, that these guys are prepared to kill you and steal the money. And he's like, oh, wow, well, that's going to complicate things. And she's like, nice to meet you, Mr. Bond. She leaves, and then he goes for the front door, and then all hell breaks loose. And he takes the suitcase full of money, and he literally, if this is the guy, he just kind of like uppercuts the guy in the face with the fucking suitcase in this big-ass fight scene. And it's a great Bond fight scene right in the middle of the fucking casino. That's probably, without a doubt, my favorite scene out of the whole film. It's action-packed, and it's got everything in a James Bond film that you would love. So, the casino scene is, without a doubt, it's the best. It's probably the best scene. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. Once a year, Dave's family and me, my family, Golden Corral for Thanksgiving. That's good. That's pretty good. I think Landon likes that place well. Well, I like Golden Corral, but I don't. Tina, if there is Golden Corral out here, I haven't found one out here yet. I've went to Golden Corral many times in Missouri, but if there is a Golden Corral here, you and Dave are going to have to show it to me because I haven't found it yet in Florida. So anyway. All right. Star Trek Voyager time. I finally finished the series, so probably the next series that I'm going to watch of Star Trek is Star Trek Lower Decks, the complete series. This is probably the next one that I'm going to dabble into, and this one, I think it's after Voyager, but let me check. I think. Give me 1 second. I'm not 100% positive. Hey, Meta, in the Star Trek timeline, where does Star Trek Lower Decks happen?
Star Trek Lower Decks is an animated series that takes place in the late 24th century, roughly the same time period as Star Trek, The Next Generation. It's specifically set about a year after the events of Star Trek, Nemesis. The series follows the adventures of the USS Cerritos.
So if you wanted to watch them in order, would you watch Star Trek Next Generation, then Lower Decks, and then Voyager?
If you want to watch the Star Trek series in chronological order, you'd actually watch The Next Generation, followed by Voyager, and then Lower Decks.
Okay, so Lower Decks comes after Voyager, so I'm glad that I finished Voyager first, and then this. So yeah. Alright, cool. Yo, what's up, PW? Hey, Fierce, didn't realize you were live, but I made it here. Well, you didn't miss much, PW. I had to talk about some troll shit at the very beginning, and I was like, I didn't want all of that to be the rest of it, so I just said I'll take care of all that shit. Now we're finally getting to the good stuff. So yeah. So anyway, I'm going to start watching this very, very, very soon. So yeah. Alright, so Star Trek Voyager. Season 7. So they finally make it back home. It's the very last episode, and the very last episode is about 2 hours long. It's called Endgame, I believe. Hang on, Endgame. Yes, Endgame. Endgame. So they finally make it home, but before they make it home, a whole shitload of things happen. So I would say they clear everything up. They clear everything up because it's the last season. Everything up. Some crew members die. Not any of the popular ones, just a few here and there. Like Lieutenant Carey dies in Friendship 1 in that episode. So some people die. Tom and B'Elanna get married. They have a child. So Tom gets married to B'Elanna. They have a child. Neelix finds a wife, and well, not really a wife, more of a girlfriend. And on their travels, he finds a colony of Talaxians that are living in an asteroid, and he becomes really chummy and really friends with this girl. I think her name's Dexis, and she has a child. So he decides to leave Voyager, live with his people, because he hasn't seen Talaxians in quite a long time. So Neelix leaves the ship to go live with his people. And again, I'm just giving you guys some highlights. And then how they get back is Captain Janeway is just so sick and tired of the Borg, and she's so sick and tired of living in the Delta Quadrant that she runs into the Borg, and she also runs into the Borg Queen, and she decides to infect the Borg Queen with a virus, and she ends up killing the Borg Queen, and they go through a portal that leads to the Alpha Quadrant, and they finally get back to the Alpha Quadrant. So finally get back to Earth. And I thought the ending was really good. I thought it was a really good ending, and I've seen it before, but I had never rated each season to you guys, and I was like, you know what, I'll rewatch it again, because Star Trek Strange New Worlds, I've watched seasons 1 and 2. I'm waiting for season 3 to come out. I'll watch that. I'll review that. And I gotta watch Lower Decks. I've never seen not one episode of Lower Decks, so I'm gonna sit down, watch all that, and then I still have to watch the rest of Discovery, the rest of the rest of Star Trek Picard. And I believe, if memory serves me right, Yakov said that he liked, because that's one thing me and Yakov do get along with, is Star Trek. I think he said that he liked Picard over Discovery. And I've only seen like 2 episodes of Discovery, but I got them all over here, so that's what I'm going to watch in the future. So I'd probably give Star Trek Voyager Season 7. It was a solid... I'm going to give it a B+. 8.9 out of 10. So, yeah. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back, and then we'll get on with the rest of the podcast. So, 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Yeah. The episode where Neelix and Tuvok combine and become Tuvix is super creepy. It is creepy, Chicken Wizard, but it's also a really good episode. And I believe that episode happens in Season 5 or Season 6. I don't recall which season, but it is a cool episode, but you are right, Chicken Wizard. It's a little creepy. Bukaki says, what's your favorite Star Trek series? I've only seen Voyager, but I liked it a lot. Voyager, now I'll admit it, Bukaki, Voyager is up there, but my favorite show would probably be Next Generation, because I watched that first. Whenever my dad introduced me to it, he said, hey, John, before I show you the 60s one, when I watched it, Star Trek Next Generation, Bukaki, was still on television. So my dad's like, well, this is on television. Let's watch this first, John, and then once it's all over, I'll show you the old one. So I actually watched it out of order. I watched Next Gen first, then the 60s series, and I love the 60s series, but I like Next Gen so much more for a couple reasons. One, it was the first thing I saw. 2, it was so cool for me and my dad to bond over Star Trek. We used to watch it. My dad used to sit on the couch. I used to lay on the floor, and we used to watch it, and it just sucks. I wish my dad could have went to a convention with me, but my dad really wasn't into the conventions. He was into sci-fi, and he was into Trek and Star Wars and Alien and Predator and all that shit, but I just don't ever see my dad ever going to a con. I did invite him, and he would always just be like, oh yeah, maybe I'll let you know, or hey, if I had to work, but he never got to go with me, and I wish he would have. So if I had to just pick one, Bukaki, it would be Next Gen first. It would be, because I haven't seen them all. I've seen all of Next Gen, all of Voyager, all of the original 60s series, all of Star Trek Enterprise. I need to rewatch those and review them for you guys, because I haven't seen them in a while. And then I've watched the first 2 seasons of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and that so far is fan-fucking-tastic. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. And I believe Star Trek Strange New Worlds, it's 5 years before Kirk takes over the ship. Let me find out. I'm 90% sure, because whenever me and Yakov talked, Discovery is 10 years before Kirk takes over, and then Captain Pike, before he dies, because he dies in one of the old 60s episodes. So probably the way they're going to end Star Trek Strange New Worlds is you find out probably how Captain Pike got injured and how he goes into that 24th century wheelchair. I'm sorry, 23rd century wheelchair, because Picard and all those are in the 24th, and James T. Kirk is in the 23rd century, excuse me. So that's probably how they're going to end that. But the first 2 seasons of Strange New Worlds, I don't know if Yakov liked that. I loved it. I thought it was great. Great sets, great acting. They have the old they have the old costumes on, but it's like a up-to-date version. Like, all the engineers are wearing the red suits with the Star Trek symbol, the Starfleet symbol, and they have the yellow suits on, like James T. Kirk for command was yellow, because they reversed it. Back in the day, all the command crew, like the commander and the captain, would always wear yellow. In the 24th century, that's why Picard, he's the captain, he wears a red suit, and the engineers wear yellow. So it was vice versa way back in the day. So to answer your question, Bukaki, it would probably be Next Gen first, then the original series, then Voyager. I've gained appreciation for Deep Space Nine, then Deep Space Nine, because Yakov said I would watch it a second time. I have watched it a second time. And then probably Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, and then Star Trek Enterprise. And that's the first ship ever commanded. And that was by Jonathan Archer. So that's like centuries before Kirk and Captain Pike took over. It's a lot to remember. There's so much Trek, it's hard to keep up. And then Yakov told me about there's an old Star Trek cartoon that William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, Walter, a lot of the old crew voiced it. And I've never seen that cartoon, and I would love to get those. And that cartoon's supposed to take place like a year or 2 after the original series ended, or some shit like that. So I hope that answered your question, buddy. I didn't know you were into Star Trek, Bukaki. That's cool. That's another thing we have in common. He says, I've only seen Voyager, but I like it a lot. It's good. I mean, it's a solid series, and that's the first time there's a female captain, and I thought Captain Janeway did a kick-ass job. These are the voyages of the USS Lantern. Hell yeah. Just picture Lantern being like, Lantern, if there was really a starship, where would you want to be? Lantern, would you want to be captain? Would you want to be an engineer? I don't even know what I would want to be, because I got a double major in film and theater arts, so I would either want to work on the bridge, near the captain. I wouldn't care what job, just as long as I got to be on the command deck. Or it'd be kind of cool to work in engineering, with Geordi, with the, what the fuck do they call the engine? Oh God, I'm a Trekkie and I can't remember what the fuck the engine's called. Oh shit, I'm having a brain fart. Hang on. What the fuck do they call the engine? It's the, I can't remember all that technical babble. Hey, Meta, what's the engine called, on Star Trek Next Gen? In the engine room, what's their engine called?
You're thinking of the warp drive on Star Trek.
Warp drive. Warp drive. That's right. I should have remembered that. The warp core. Yeah, it's the warp core, because warp drive is when they take the ship and it goes super fast. Thank you, Dave. I knew what the hell I was talking about. I couldn't remember all the stuff. Well, I just talked about it, Dave. He says, have you seen the animated series? The one that Yakov told me about, no. I've heard about it, but before I end the podcast, I should watch the trailer for it, because I've never even seen a clip of what Yakov told me, but you know me, I love Trek. Eventually, I'll get around to it. To go where no man's belly button has gone before. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Discovery and Strange... No, that's not true, Dave. Discovery is 10 years before Kirk, And Yakov told me, Strange New World, it's 5 years, I believe. 5 years before Kirk took over. Because Captain Pike, before he dies and before he gets injured, and then he's in, his whole body is encased in that wheelchair, and you only see him from the neck up. And he kind of like blinks, and when he blinks, these two lights go on. It makes his wheelchair go to the left or the right or forward. And then he dies, and then Kirk takes over, because Kirk and Captain Pike they're not like best friends, but they're buddies, you know. And he respects him, and he respects, you know, Kirk and all that. So yeah, but it's around that era. But yeah. Anyway, I need to use the restroom. I'll be right back. But check out my favorite mug. I love this mug, and I decided to wear this today than my usual hat. But I think tomorrow I'm gonna wear one of my Jason Voorhees hats or my Halloween, because I need to bust out those hats, because I haven't worn this one in a while, and I sure as hell haven't worn my Halloween one in quite a long time. Anyway, 2 seconds, I'll be right back. All right. Oh, man. Oh, the yawns are coming early. Holy shit. Well, Lantern, I think I'm definitely going to take a nap-o. Oh, man. I'm either taking a nap later on tonight before I watch Crybaby, or I'm going to take a nice long nap tomorrow. I'm getting old, man. My bones are getting brittle. You know I'm getting old when fears... I've always liked naps, but I've been taking more naps. All right, now. That's right. That's right, Bukaki. That's a classic Lantern line. All right, now. I don't knows. Lantern, you're fucking great. Lantern's great. There's the Enterprise appears during the second season of Discovery. Does it? Does it really? Let's find out. Hang on. I'm pretty sure Yakov told me that, though. Hang on. About the 10 years and 5 years? Hang on. Hey, Meta, just a... Oh, hang on. Meta's freaking out. Hang on. Hey, Meta, in Star Trek Discovery, is it 10 years before Kirk takes over the ship?
Let's see. Star Trek Discovery takes place approximately a decade before Captain James T. Kirk's 5-year mission commanding the USS Enterprise.
Okay, and then in the new series Star Trek Strange New Worlds, is it 5 years before Kirk takes over?
Good question. Star Trek Strange New Worlds takes place about 6 years before Captain James T. Kirk assumes...
Okay, I was close. I said 5, it's 6 years. So I was almost right. Yeah. But I get what you're saying, Dave. It's in that area. It's in that area. All right. Let me get back. Next thing. Time for a top 10 list, my friends. Time for a top 10 list. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. So after I get done, I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to get something to eat. And then I'm going to continue to work. I'm almost done with the next vlog. The next vlog is when me and Dave and Tina and James went to Jeff's Star Wars convention. So it's going to start with the Star Wars convention. And then it's going to go into... Dave invited me to go with James and them to Atomic Horror. I did. Dave, I think the same day we went to Barnes & Noble. And even though we didn't do the lake jump on that day, I think I'm going to end the vlog with the lake jump because I think everyone wants to see that. And that's another thing that Larry said I'm lying about. Like, oh, you lied, you didn't do the lake jump. So I would rather get it out sooner because really the lake jump was the same day we went to the zoo. We went to the zoo, came back. I jumped into my swimming trunk. So if you guys want me to edit the lake jump in the zoo vlog, and you guys want to wait, you're more than welcome. But if you guys want me to put it in the next vlog, I absolutely will. It's up to you guys. So, and I swear, I have the worst luck ever. We had 3 cameras. Dave was filming it on his GoPro. Unfortunately, on Dave's GoPro, the files got corrupted. And Dave said he couldn't retrieve them. James had Dave was filming on 2. Dave was holding my cell phone up and his GoPro. On my cell phone, we filmed live, and it was the worst luck ever. It saw me running to the lake, and then the fucking internet cuts out. And the minute I watched it back, I was like, oh, God. Everyone's going to think I fucking faked the jump. Thank God, though, I prepared, and I had James holding my GoPro. I've got all the jumps. I jumped twice. And it's on my GoPro. So you guys will know that I've been telling the truth the whole time, and Larry is so full of shit. Like, you faked the jump. You didn't do it. Nah. You're such an old piece of shit. You know? That's another thing of him just trying to cause fucking drama. How can you fake a lake jump? It baffles my fucking mind on how his mind actually fucking works. He's fucking ridiculous. So dumb. So dumb. Anyway, so you guys will see that I've been telling the truth the whole time. I jumped not once but twice. I said, and you'll see it in the vlog. I'll be like, hey, I'm going to give you guys a 3, 2, 1, and then I'm going to go. I go 3, 2, 1. I run, jump in, I get out, and then I lift my shirt up and say, hey, any leeches on me? Because there's leeches in that lake. Dave says, no leeches. I said, oh, great. James says, how do you stop this? I said, oh, wait, don't stop it. I said, I'm going to jump again. I get to the top of the hill. I go, and then you hear Dave say, lake jump part 2. I run. And the reason why I did it a second time, I was like, well, that was a real quick jump. I'm like, the fans are going to feel cheated. So I thought, all right, well, to give them even more of epic footage, I'll just jump a second time. So I jumped a second time. So you guys will see it. And you'll know that I've been telling the truth the whole time. So yeah. So it'll either be in the next vlog or it'll be in the zoo vlog. But the next vlog is going to start with all the Star Wars stuff as at the convention. Then it's going to be Atomic Horror. And then me and Dave and James in my home. And then, like I said, I'll probably either end it with the lake jump and say, hey, a few weeks later, lake jump. But if you guys want it in order, it'll be this vlog first, and then the zoo vlog will be next, you know, and then I'll put it at the end of the zoo. Whatever you guys want. I can do it either way. So, yeah. All right. Star Trek Voyager top 10 episodes coming at you live here. So, Star Trek Voyager Season 7 top 10 episodes. And Tina, I'm trying to fill this book up for you because so far, Visions, you got the first one. Lantern got the second one. Walter, his book's on the way. And now Tina has got the fourth one. So whoever wants the fifth one, just claim it. Maybe I'll give the next one to Bukaki, Visions, since you've already got one. Because Visions said he loves his book. And I'm glad each person likes it. So Walter should be getting his book very, very, very soon. So, yeah. But this one is for Tina, because Tina called it. All right, here we go. So, I'm going to start off. Let's see here. Let's see here. Imperfection is a good episode. Imperfection. Inside Man is good. And I'd say Inside Man is probably, besides the ending of Endgame, I'd say Inside Man is my favorite episode out of season 7. It's just so good. And then Endgame is probably my second, because the Endgame is like 2 hours long. It's the ending to the entire season, and it's long, but it's good. It's long but good. All right, so Inside Man, Nightingale, that's a good one. Shattered is good. Prophecy is good. Repentance is good. And then, let's see. Author is good. That's good. And then Q2 is good. And then Friendship 1 is good. And then probably Endgame. So those are my top 10. So yeah. Let's see here. Let me catch up with the chat. My next big vlog will be a SeaWorld trip. Oh, nice, Dave. Well, I want to do that too, so you may want to hold off on that. And if you want to go together, let me know, because I still want to go. The last time, it's been forever. The last time I went to SeaWorld was, I don't think I've done a vlog of SeaWorld down here. The last time I went to SeaWorld was when my friend Eric lived down here. And he lived here for 13, 14 years, and he worked for Disney that whole time. And I came during my summer break. I believe it was my junior year of college. And I had 2 trips, because we got the whole summer off. And I said, hey, Mom, I'm going to come visit you guys in between school. And then I said, before I come visit you, Mom, and my dad was still alive at that time. So my dad and my mom are on the phone. And my dad's like, well, what do you want to do, John? Do you want to visit with us first, or do you want to go visit Eric? I said, I'm probably going to go visit Eric first, because then I get to hang out with you guys before I, fly back to Arizona, because that's where my college was. And my dad's like, that'll work. That'll definitely work. And I remember one day we went to Disney. One day we went to the beach, me and Eric. And then before I went to go visit with my mom, we went to SeaWorld. So it's been since 2008 since I've been to SeaWorld, Dave. So if you want to go, let me know. Let me know. Crumble says, what's the next movie talk stream? Tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, but what movie? What movie, though, are you going to talk about, Dave? Because you blew my mind. Dave blew my mind with that old Ghostbusters live-action show. I got to watch that. And then the cartoon. I was like, I've never even heard of this fucking series. I thought The Real Ghostbusters was like the only cartoon. And sure enough, Dave blew my mind with a Ghostbusters live action TV show and a Ghostbusters cartoon before my favorite cartoon, The Real Ghostbusters, right over here. And it blew my mind, and I was like, damn. So anytime I think I'm the movie master, I'm probably second in command. Dave, you're slowly becoming the movie master, my friend. What's up, Walter? Walter, I don't know if you heard, I sent off your book, so you'll either get it, like I said, sometime this week, next week. It's on the way, brother. I shipped it off a couple days ago, so I can't wait for you to get it, man. And me and Sega signed it, so I hope you enjoy it, buddy. Hell yeah. Shout out to Walter White. Dave says the next one's okay, if it's a school trip. Well, you know what, Dave? I know you helped James out with school and stuff, so I probably couldn't go with that one. But, Dave, at some point, you, me, and James have got to go to SeaWorld. I mean, I don't mind going there alone, but I think it would be cooler if you and James came. So, if you want to go, Dave, let me know, because I've been wanting to do a vlog there, because, man, it's been forever since I've been to SeaWorld. So, it's been a minute. All right. Let's see. What's next? I think I'm going to skip the Disney villains for today, and I'll end with talking about some more celebrity stories, because I'm going to go to my Facebook, and I'm going to talk about some more celebrities that I've hung out with. I've met quite a few over the years, so yeah. Anyway, so let me just close this, and because I think I remember last time. I've done this topic before, but I didn't get through all of the celebrities off of my Facebook, because I got them in an album. Dave says, what about Gatorland? I'm so down for Gatorland, because I asked Sega if he wanted to go, and I think Sega was a little nervous about the Gators, and he didn't want to go. And I've never gone to Gatorland, Dave, so I am totally up for Gatorland. Because when we went to the zoo, there was gators and there was crocodiles there. And they were like behind the fence, so we were perfectly safe. So I'm all about it, you know. So Dave, let me know you want to go. Because is Gatorland expensive to go, or is it pretty cheap? I know it'll be cheaper than Disney for sure, so yeah. I've been to that place, Walter, but a long time ago. A long time ago. Anyway, so let's end with doing some more celebrity stories. So let me pull up my Facebook, and I'll go to my photo album with all the celebrities that I met, because I've met quite a few. And there's only been one or two that were kind of dicks. You know how like some celebrities can be kind of dicks? Most of the celebrities that I've met have been nothing but nice. Nothing but nice. Like, I remember Pixel, and I'm not calling Pixel out, I'm just using this as an example. I remember Pixel said, oh yeah, man, like, William Shatner's an absolute dick. If he's been a dick to other people, he was super nice. I got to talk to him for like 5 or 6 minutes. We were talking about Star Wars and Star Trek, and he was like, Fears, what's your favorite episode of my original series? And I was like, and I told him which one. It's the, I always forget the name of it. It's where they time travel back to the 30s and 40s. Dave, what's the name of that episode? It's like the yesterday of tomorrow, or I can't fucking remember what it is. It's the one where they have to time travel back, and their doctor got injected with some medicine that made him go crazy, and then he jumps through a time portal and he changes history, and so Spock and Kirk have to jump back, and it takes them to the 30s and 40s, and they have to restore the timeline and then get back to the 23rd century. I told him, I was like, without a doubt, that's my favorite episode. And then he's like, well, what's your favorite movie out of the Star Trek? I was like, out of yours? I said, Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home. I said, that one's great, where you guys like travel to the 80s and you gotta save the whales. And he's like, oh yeah, he's like, that one's good. I got to talk to him for a solid 5-6 minutes, uninterrupted. And I even said, oh, well, I don't want to take up much of your time. The line was fucking, it was fucking massacred. Massacred. And he's like, they're good. They can wait. I'm talking to you, Fears. And I was like, this is fucking great. This is fucking epic. This is fucking amazing. So, yeah. That's what it is, Dave. Thank you. City on the Edge of Forever. That's my all-time favorite episode of the 1960s one. It's got everything. It's got time travel. It's got action, danger, good guest stars in it. The lady that plays Kirk's love interest, she's some old actress, but man, she is so beautiful in that episode. She's stunning. Stunning. So good. All right, let me open up my album. So, yeah. Epic. Dave, what's your favorite old Star Trek episode? That's my favorite. City on the Edge of Forever, they should have made that into a 2-hour movie. Because that episode, it's so good. It's so good. So good. All right. Let me open up my album. So I believe the last time I did this, let's see here. Let me find it. I've got so many albums. I take as much video footage as I do. I take a lot of photos, and I put so many photos on my Facebook. Here we go. The autographs and famous people I've met. Here we go. So let me scroll down. I think the last time we left off on... I told you guys I met Tony Todd and Kane and the guy that played Michael out of Halloween 8. And I've met Leatherface out of 2 and 3. And then I told you guys I met Ron Jeremy. I met the original guy that played Flash. I met all the guys from Dawn of the Dead, the black guy in the mall and all that. I met the guys from Wayne's World. I met Fonzie. I met Dean Cain. So I believe we left off. I met the original guy that played Grandpa out of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I forgot his name. His name is John Dugan. That guy, Visions, that guy, he was telling me all these, behind-the-scenes stories. That interview was on my main channel. He was like, oh, man, he goes, I was this young guy. They're like, hey, John, you want to, help us make this horror movie? And he was like, what's it about? Oh, this killer, he's got flesh on his face, and he's running around with a chainsaw. And he was like, yeah, he goes, I'll be in that. And they're like, well, you're going to be part of the crazy family. You're going to play Grandpa. And he got to play Grandpa, and I was like, that's so fucking cool. And I believe in my interview, it's been a long time, but if you go on Fears Man 26, I asked him, hey, can you tell me some behind-the-scenes stories? And I believe he tells 1 or 2 stories of his experience on set of the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre as Grandpa. And he says some stuff in the interview. I believe. I haven't watched it in a while, but look it up. Look up Fears Man 26, John Dugan interview. That's a great fucking interview, man. He was so... And I did it at one of my buddy Dave's Contamination conventions, and he was so generous with his time. I asked him some questions about the con and some questions about Texas Chainsaw. That guy was so nice. So fucking cool. Kind of an honor to be in quite a legendary horror movie, you know? That was pretty cool. I'm so glad. I got a photo with him. I look so young in these photos. I don't know. God, how old am I? I got the spiky hair rocking because I used to spike my hair all the time. I need to bring the spiked hair back, just to be like, hey, Fears, could you still pull off the spiky hair? This photo is from August 7th, 2013. Oh, my God. Such a long time ago. Wow. It's good to look into the past a little bit. And then I met, what's his last name? Alex Vincent, the child star that played Andy in Child's Play at 1 and 2. That was so cool. He gave me a cool interview. We were in a hotel, and after the convention was done, I lived so close to the hotel. Each day I would just drive my car to the convention/hotel. And they had a big banquet center there. And then once it was done, I would just drive back. But because I bought Alex some drinks and he bought me some drinks, I had to hang out in the lobby because you guys know I do not drink and drive. And we were getting kind of a good buzz going on. So there's pictures on my Facebook of us at the bar, and me and Alex are holding drinks. Coolest fucking guy ever, man. Like, we were talking Chucky. He was buying me drinks. I was buying him some drinks. We were just hanging out. It was fucking cool, man. So cool. And then my buddy, I forgot his name because he moved away, but there's a buddy of mine in a red kind of like tank top shirt, and we've all got drinks. We're all hanging out. And then I forgot their names. The two guys from The Walking Dead came up, and they were only in a couple episodes, and they came up, and so it's The Walking Dead guys and Alex Finn. We're all at the bar, and we're all hanging out, and I believe, let's see, there's Theos Crane from The Walking Dead. I think he was in 2 or 3 episodes. He's there, so I've got pictures of him, and we're at the bar. Then the next guy from The Walking Dead, his name is Nick Gomez. And I wrote, me and Nick Gomez from The Walking Dead TV series, just hanging out at the bar. Pretty epic dude and funny. That's what I wrote. So, I think, if memory serves me right, I hung out with the Walking Dead guys at the bar. Then they went back to their hotel room, and that's when I started hanging out with Alex. And he showed up at the bar, but the bar was popping. So if you guys think I'm lying, check out the photos. I said, me and my, that's what his name was, Blake. Me and my buddy Blake with Alex Vincent just hanging out at the bar on the second night at the convention. We spent a lot of time at the bar, but he's really a cool fucking dude. Pleasure and honor to hang out with him. And that's 100% true. Alex was such a cool guy. So awesome. Such down to earth. Very down to earth. But it was so cool. Not only did I get an autograph, a photo, and an interview, but I got to have a couple of drinks with him, which it was so fucking rad. It was amazing. All right, next. Let me scroll down here. Let's see. Let's see here. And then another convention, I got to re-meet John Dugan again. And I think we did a second interview. And let me see what year it was. Oh, no, it was the same convention. Just, it was a different day. Me and John Dugan taking a photo together at the convention right after I got my autograph. He hooked me up with a free one because he's just a cool guy. He's the star of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And there is Alex Vincent from Child's Play 1 and 2 macking on some hot babe in the background. Just joking, Alex. But if you look in the background, he's sitting with some girl, and he's definitely a mackin', you know. But I think I got 2 autographs. I got an old vintage one when he plays Grandpa for the first time, because then he reprised his role in another Texas Chainsaw Massacre where he played Grandpa yet again. And I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. So I got 2 autographs. But all those autographs are back in Missouri. So yeah. Pretty cool. And then I got to meet Tim Quill. And he told me some stories of Army of Darkness. He's in Army of Darkness. Good friends with, what's the director of Army of Darkness? Him and Bruce Campbell, they're like buddies. What the fuck is his name? I can't remember his name. But anyway, Tim Quill was in Spider-Man. He has a cameo in that. And then he played. What's the job where people in olden times would bang on metal? Oh, blacksmith. He played the blacksmith in Army of Darkness or Evil Dead 2 or one of those. He told me some stories of that, and it says Tim Quill was in Spider-Man 1 and 2. Also has been in many horror films. Loved talking Spider-Man with him for hours. And he said he got to have lunch with Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man. Awesome. What a great guy. And funny too, as you can see with us hamming it up in the photo. And that was at Contamination DEF CON 4, St. Louis. And that was back in 2013. So yeah, we were either talking Spider-Man or we were talking Army of Darkness. And what was funny, Visions, that was before I even watched Army of Darkness. So in the interview, I knew that he was in Spider-Man 1 and 2, and I knew what he was talking about. But when he started talking about Army of Darkness, watch the interview. I'm just kind of like, because I hadn't watched Army of Darkness yet. So in my mind, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But I was getting good footage, so I was like, I'll just let him talk. I was like, yep, yeah, man, that's cool, that's cool. I had no idea what he was talking about because I hadn't seen Army of Darkness yet. So I'm still on the hunt. I've yet to see Evil Dead 1. I've seen Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness. I want to watch the TV show. I want to watch the new remake of Evil Dead. But I got to see the original. So hopefully when I get into town, hopefully at Vintage Stock, I can find the original Evil Dead. That's on the list. It's on the hunt. So yeah. So he was pretty cool to meet. And then let me skim down. Let's see here. I got to meet Leslie Easterbrook from Police Academy. She was in Police Academy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think she was in all of them. And my friend was hosting his own convention. It was called ConX. And he asked me, Fierce, if you help me out and help out some of the celebrities, you get to go for free. It was in Kansas City, Missouri. And my job was to sit at Elizabeth's table and like count her money and help her out. And I went and got her lunch a couple times. And then that was the same con that I got to meet Denise Crosby, and Randall was so jealous. So on Friday and Saturday, I believe I sat with Leslie. And then on Sunday, the last day, I sat with Denise Crosby and helped her out at her table. And I got to have some wine with Denise Crosby. And Randall's so jealous. He's like, Fierce, in that video, she's massaging your arms. I'm like, that she was, Randall. And he's like, did you drink a lot? I said, we didn't. I said, Randall, we went through 1 bottle, and then we went through 2 bottles. And I was just getting drunk with Denise Crosby. How could anyone say that? Not many people. We were getting drunk. I was talking about fucking Star Trek with her. She's in The Walking Dead. I think she was in an episode or 2. I don't know how many episodes, but she was like, oh yeah, I love Walking Dead. I was like, do you? And we were getting drunk. I got an interview with her. That's on the main channel a long time ago. I've met Leslie twice. Once at this ConX one, and this is September 19th, 2012. I think that's when I post the photo. I don't remember what year the ConX con was, but I interviewed her at that con, Leslie Easterbrook, and then I met her again at another one of my buddy Dave's convention. So I've met her twice. Got 2 autographs from her, 2 photos, and 2 interviews from her. And it was a blast. It was a fucking blast. And what I remember most of her, she was funny. Denise was funny, and Leslie Easterbrook, she was funny as hell. She was telling me like all these behind-the-scenes stories of like, of a Police Academy, and she's like, oh yeah, we got away with murder on those sets, and everyone was having fun, and we were cracking jokes and going fucking nuts. I was like, that's cool. That's fucking cool. So, I've met a lot of cool people. Fears, for the most part, besides the troll shit, I've had a very blessed life. You know, if trolling's the only thing I have to worry about, I'm doing pretty good. I've had a very blessed life. And Randall is like, oh, Fears, how can you meet all these people? My answer is the same. I said, Randall, go to more conventions with me, and you'll get a chance to meet all these cool fucking actors that you like. Like, I've never seen Randall more happier than when he met the Pink Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson. He was grinning ear to ear, and you saw him in the vlogs. He's like, oh, he was like sweating, and I'm like, I literally like patted him on the shoulder because I care about my friends, and I was like, Randall, are you all right? And he's like, yeah, I'm just a little bit overwhelmed, Fears. And I was like, I know you're overwhelmed. I'm like, I can see it in your eyes, buddy. I'm like, dude, are you all right? Because I do care about my family, my friends, a lot. There's no John Fears without the friends and the family. And he's like, I'm good. He's like, I just need a moment, Fears. I was like, Randall, take as much time as you need, buddy. Take as much time as you need. Dave says, the only actor I've had a bad interaction with was Dirk Benedict. I don't even know who that is. Hang on. Let me find out. Hang on. Is he anything? Is he in anything that I know of, Dave? He probably is. Most actors, yeah, that's been my experience. Most actors that I meet in my, there's only been a couple of actors that didn't live up to my expectation, and they were kind of a dick. You know, I'm not gonna name which ones because out of respect for them, you know. But there's only been like 2 or 3 that have been like what? Hey, hurry it up. You want an autograph or not? You want a photo? All right, I've got tons of people. Get the fuck out of my line, and they've been dicks. 90% of the people that I've met, super nice, super epic. Like Alex, he didn't have to come to the bar and hang out with me and my buddy Blake and have drinks with us. He just wanted to, and I was like, this is awesome. This is going to be like a story to tell, like, if I ever get married, like a story to tell my kids, like, hey, I was partying with Alex. Hell yeah, you know? Starbuck and the team. I'll have to Google him after the live, Dave, because his name is not ringing a bell. All right. I'm going to do a couple more stories, and then I'm going to end it, because it's already 9:48, which in Texas, that's 8:48, and I know Lantern's going to go live around 9 or 10, so I don't want to impede on his stream time. Let's see, the next one that I met was, and I was geeking out. He's been in Coffin. He's been in Star Trek. He played a Borg, Patrick Barnett. He played a Borg in Star Trek First Contact, Star Trek Next Generation. He played a Borg in a couple of episodes of Star Trek Next Generation. The movie Star Trek First Contact, he was in as a Borg in Star Trek. Damn, Lantern, excuse me. He was in Star Trek Enterprise a few times as a Borg. So he's played a lot of, he's famous for being a Borg, and he gave me a full-on interview. This one was at that convention that I helped my buddy at. This was in 2012. It says, me and Patrick Barnett at Connex. He played in the movie Coffin, and he was a Borg in First Contact. A wonderful man, amazing actor, and he gave me an epic interview. And that's on the main channel, too, so if you guys ever want to check that out, just Google FearsMan26, Fears interview, Patrick Barnett. It'll pop up. I haven't seen that interview in years. So, yeah, that was a good one, though. That was a good one. And then there's also a photo. My friend Dave, back in the day, would do these celebrity dinners. I wish Jeff would do the same thing. After the convention, he would do this celebrity dinner. If you paid some extra money, you could have dinner with all the celebrities. And there's a photo of me and Patrick sitting right next to each other, and we're having dinner, and we're just chatting away. And a girl that I was dating at the time, she sat next to me. And that was a long time ago. But it says, me having dinner with Patrick Barnett. He played a Borg from the movie Star Trek First Contact. Coolest fucking dude ever. And we were in Kansas City. And we were just shooting the shit, just hanging out, having dinner after the con. And I think that was the last day of the con. And we were having dinner. And then I drove home, because I had work and shit. But man, that was a fun weekend. Fun weekend. All right, I think I'm going to stop there. So whenever I do this topic again, then we'll pick up right after Patrick Barnett, because there's a lot more celebrities and a lot more stories that I've met and I want to tell you guys about, because I've met a lot of celebrities. So the next few celebrities I met was the original, meeting the myth, the man, the legend, the legendary Walter Koenig, I think is how you say his name. He played Chekhov on the original Star Trek. That's one of the greatest interviews I think I've ever done. He was so nice. I said, can I ask you about a bunch of stuff? He's like, Fears, I'm here at the convention. He goes, ask me whatever you want. I said, well, it's going to be a lot of Star Trek questions. He's like, I get a lot of Star Trek. And I was like, you don't understand. I said, me and my dad bonded over Star Trek. And he's like, oh, yeah? And I said, first it was Next Gen and then your series. And he's like, what? And then I remember he looked and he said, well, why not my series first? I said, because my dad was watching it on television and he wanted to finish that first and then he was going to show me your guys's. And he's like, but you like my series, right? I said, oh, yeah. I said, I like your series. Absolutely. So, yeah. So, yeah. That was a good interview. I got a photo with him. That was at ConX, too. So, yeah. Pretty awesome. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet, my friends. Anyway, I think that's a good place to sign off. He was in the A-Team and Battlestar Galactica. I'm going to have to look him up. I'm going to have to look him up, Dave. Oh, wait. No, I think I know who did he play, what was the crazy guy in the A-Team? He was always, like, in the hospital, and he was like a psych, he was in the psych ward. Is that the guy? Because he played on Star Trek, too. He played, oh, God, I'm having a brain fart. He played a real nervous guy on Voyager and Star Trek Next Generation. I don't remember his character name. I think that's who it is. I think. I'll have to look him up, though, Dave. Anyway, I'm going to take off, guys, because I still need to take a shower and I still need to eat dinner. And Lantern, I really hope that Larry does not take over your show tonight and talk 5 or 6 hours about me. I hope not. You know, I've said my piece, and Visions made a very good point. He goes, Fears, if you stop talking about Larry, it'll probably be better, because the last couple of shows I have been talking about Larry. And if I don't talk about him and I just ignore him, I probably wouldn't get as much heat. So I'm really just going to try to ignore him until all this stuff gets settled. Because he wants a reaction. And I don't want to give him a reaction, so Lantern, I will be listening while I'm editing, but I'm gonna take a shower, get something to eat, and then whenever you start your show, buddy, I will be listening. But I don't think it's a good idea if I come into the show tonight, or at least not for a while, buddy. It has nothing to do with you, Lantern. Nothing to do with you. That's right, Crumbles. Larry! That's right. Let's see. Strong Bear says, no, he played Face. Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah, he was a guy with the reason why they called him Face is because he was like the macho guy, and he was always with the ladies, and he was always combing his hair, and he was like the stud of the group. I know who you're talking about. Really? Really, Dave? So that guy was a dick? Damn. So, yeah. I think you should know the answer to that question, Visions. Vision says, do you ever get so frustrated that you've punched yourself in the head? No. I've never punched myself. I never will. I've told you the story, Visions. I'm not going to say which troll made me punch the wall, but I was so frustrated. That's when my hand got damaged. I was so pissed one night. Somebody got me so mad that I punched the wall. Thank God I didn't put a dent in the wall, because if I would have damaged the wall, I would have had to pay for it. But I hurt my hand more. I gave it a good punch. I was so pissed. And you can only imagine who that troll was that pissed me off. I was just so pissed that night. And I think that happened, a year ago? Either earlier this year or last year, I punched the wall. I was so pissed, but I've never punched myself. But I think the best thing to do is stop talking about Larry and just ignore him, because he wants a reaction. So I'm going to try my very best to... Because you guys don't want to hear about all this drama bullshit. I don't, but I was determined to tell you guys the truth, because I did not lie about that Donnie stuff. And I'm like, if he wants me to read the messages, I absolutely have no problem reading the messages, and then everyone will believe me, because it sucks so bad that people don't believe me. Or it's going to take a while for people to believe me, because I haven't told a lie in a while. And Larry, there's no stopping him. Like, there's no reasoning with him. Whatever you say, Fears, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie. I'm like, no, it's not. Maybe in the past, but not recently. You're lying, Fears. You're lying about that. You're lying about that. I'm like, no, I'm not. That's another lie, Fears. And I'm just like, dude, get the fuck over it. I don't know. I really have been trying to be a straight shooter with you guys, and I've been focusing on my health. I've been focusing on my job. I've been focusing on finding a better job. I've been getting ready for my trip. I cannot wait for my trip. 10 days of just getting away from everything, hanging out with my friends and my family, and I'll probably be a lot better when I come back home. I've been pumping out the vlogs even quicker. You've even said that, Vision. You're like, hey, Fears, kudos to you for, getting the vlogs out quicker. I want to try to get one at least out every single day, but I've been getting quicker with it, because I really want to get all the old footage up, get it up, so I can start doing some new content, because I've got some new ideas that I want to go out and film, like that video store that I found on TikTok that was in the Tampa area. I snapshot that right off of TikTok, and I saved it in my phone. I said, I definitely want to make a vlog of that. I'm like, that would make a cool vlog. It's an old vintage video store called, hang on, it's called, where is it? This is in Tampa, Florida. Viper Video. So yeah. Buy, sell, and trade DVDs, Blu-rays, and VHSs. And they got a crap load of horror posters in the front. So hell yeah. I was like, that would make a good vlog. I'm like, that would make an epic vlog. Because I'd probably go there and buy some stuff. And then just for the video, I could rent some shit. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. I doubt that, Visions. I doubt that you've gotten so mad that you've punched yourself. Or, I'm your friend. I would hope that you wouldn't want to punch yourself. That would suck, So anyway. So I'm hoping good things to come, and I hope you guys enjoyed the live. And good things are coming, my friends. So I think that's a good segue out. But I will be back tomorrow or Sunday. And like I said, my birthday month is coming up. So send me that fan mail, because I want to hear from you guys. 16745 Kagan's Crossings Boulevard, STE 102B, PMB 40, Claremont, Florida 34714. Motherfuckers! Oh yeah. Lantern, have a great show, buddy. I will be listening, and I will be editing. So heck yeah. But I love you guys. Fears would not be anywhere without the fans and my friends and my family. You guys are great. I love you guys, and I always appreciate all the comments and the views and the likes and the support. Your guys' constant support is amazing. And it helps me get through all these rough times, because we've had good times, we've had bad times. You guys have seen me at my best. You guys have seen me at my worst. But I'm always trying to strive for the best version of Fears all the time. And I appreciate you guys, the people that have hung in there, and I appreciate the people that have never let me down, and I appreciate the people that have always believed in me and always will continue to believe me. And I just thank you guys a lot. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. No bullshit. That's the honest to God truth. And hell yeah. All right. I'm taking off. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Sega Camp Gamer and Wear Camp on YouTube. Follow the Sega Camp Gamer 22 on Twitch. Follow Strong Bear 19, Papa Bear on YouTube. Follow Mama Bear on YouTube. Follow, follow Mr. Lantern at Mr. Lantern on YouTube. He does a show every Thursday night, every Friday night. Check it out. It's a pretty cool show. Check out Tommy NC motherfucking 2010 on YouTube. Follow the great Randall, Lord Randall, at FearsMan20. I'm sorry, I'm getting tired. Follow Randall at Cameo Man 2021 and his second channel, The Mayor of Magic. Follow Visions, Lord Visions, at www.exhumevisions.com. Buy some cool shit because my buddy does in fact make some cool shit. Visions, you know what would be cool to make around Halloween? Your version of some shirts of Return of the Living Dead, because all of these that I've bought has been at Atomic Horror, and they make some good Resident Evil. I mean, oh god, I'm fucking tired. They make some good Return of the Living Dead. You made a Tar Man one, but I would love to see you make some more of these, buddy. That would be cool. Check out my friend Boo Khaki on YouTube. Hell yeah. Check out F Crumbles on YouTube. He's a good artist. He draws some pretty crazy shit, but you are a good artist, Crumbles. You are a good artist. Crumbles, I promised you, if you do a drawing of Fears, I remember you did a crazy one, but if you do a drawing of Fears of me shitting my ass off sitting on the toilet with my Ghostbusters hat, not the dick, an actual Ghostbuster hat, I will frame it and I will put it in with all the other Ghostbusters art in the bathroom. That is my promise. And last, but certainly not least, follow the host with the most, the leader of the community, second in command, because Lantern's really the true, leader. But I'm second in command. Follow Fears, my main channel, FearsMan26. Follow my vlog channel, Fears Vlogs. And this is Fears, signing off. Peace. Deuces. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.